area, 6 wins, 10 losses. That's combined with the Pittsburgh Pirates and these Mariners. Tell you about the umpires tonight. Marvin Hudson is the home plate umpire. Angel Hernandez is at first base. Randy Marsh, the crew chief, out at second. And over at third is Lance Barksdale. Now that we've got all that done, it is time for me to pass it along. The play-by-play is over to my partner, Ed Farmer.
All right, Darren, thanks very much. Pitsetnik will lead it off for the White Sox. The Sox come out tonight, black tops, black tops, gray pants. Mariners are in home white uniforms with Mariners across the chest in blue and green. Starting uniforms are brought to you by Triple Threat Sports. Location 190-31 Old LaGrange Road, Mokenas Hickory Creek Center. Ozzie Guillen will be there September 19th. That's Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning. I'll give you the numbers to call. Also, you can find the website at triplethreatsports.com. Snell's first one, low for ball one. It's delivered at 9:11 Chicago time. Game time temperature 78 warm degrees here in Seattle. Time and temperature brought to you by Menards. Save big money on your home improvement needs. Visit Menards. The 1-0 to Scotty. That's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. The winds, there aren't any. Snell to the wind and the 1-1 to Scott Pitsetnik late on a fastball. And that's nothing new with this heater. He's got a good one. The number for Triple Threat Sports, 708-479-8875. Later in the broadcast, Darren, we'll have the Binny's Attendance brought to you by Binny's Beverage Depot. Chicagoland's #1 superstore for wine, spirits, and beers. The 1-2, a high fly ball to left. Should be easy for Hall. The former Brewer towards the line of left is there and makes the catch.
Yes, they're just trying to find any place to play Bill Hall since they've acquired him. Normally a infielder, but stick him out on left and see if that offensive hit can come back to life, because it has definitely sputtered the last couple of years.
Snell the last time out, loser against the Angels, 5 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs earned. He walked 5, and if there has been a problem with him in his last 4 or 5 starts, it's been the free passes. There's a strike to Beckham. He's walked 28 in his last 4 starts.
Yes, that's not good considering he has 21 strikeouts in comparison.
0-1 the count. Beltry, the third baseman, even with the bag. And the 0-1 is swinging a line drive to right. Ichiro coming on. Suzuki's there and makes the catch. That was a rocket to right for an out. That's Mr. 2000 in this country, but Mr. 3000 overall, isn't it, Suzuki?
Yes. He's done something not many have ever done. 9 straight years with 200 or more hits. Now, he's the only person ever to have 9 straight years to start a career with 200 or more hits, and he's just going to keep on setting records.
And at one time, the modern record for hits in a season, I believe it was George Sisler with over 250. It was closer to 260. He beat that one. Here's Brzezinski, and that's a strike on the inside corner.
Yeah, Ichiro Suzuki has been a hitting machine since he's come over here to the Seattle Mariners, a guy that also has 55 infield hits, which is the most in the major leagues.
Brzezinski scans in with a 312 average, and that one's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. When you look at Suzuki, we know he can fly, but he's another guy with both feet off the ground, can also hit the ball hard.
Yeah, well, he definitely can do that. He is somebody that if you make a mistake, he can hit a lot further than a lot of big guys.
Snell's 1-1 to AJ, swinging a high fly ball to left. Hall will move back in front of the warning track. Circles it, makes the catch. He had a little jump to that step also when he made the catch. 3 down go the White Sox here on the first. After a half inning in Seattle, White Sox fail to score. The Mariners are coming to bat here at Safeco Field. You're listening to Chicago White Sox baseball on 1600 ESPN Radio.
Chicago White Sox baseball right here on Eastern Iowa's home of the Sox, 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM.
Mariners bat here in the first, no score. White Sox went 3 up, 3 down in the top half of this inning. Suzuki, Gutierrez, and then Lopez to face Freddie Garcia. Talked about Ichiro, who stands in. White Sox were batting over 2,000 hits. Here at the major league level, over 3,000 if you count international play. And here's the delivery from Garcia. It's in there for a strike 1. Freddie is 6'4", 245 pounds, 32 years of age, and makes his home in Miami, Florida. Comes in at 1-2, earned an average of 4.40, and has pitched much better than that. The 0-1, a breaking ball inside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
3,283 career hits, Japan and United States for Ichiro.
1-1 to Suzuki, cut on a miss, whatever that was. He missed it by a foot, and he was in the air for most of it. 1-2 now.
3,200 plus hits. That's swinging the shillelagh.
Figure if he plays 4 more years here, he'll have 3,000.
Yes.
The 1-2, a little looper towards left, dropping fast. Here comes Carlos Quentin, the left fielder's there, and makes the catch. Hit that one-handed.
Yeah, I like the pitch. I mean, he straightened him up with a fastball in, and then he threw the little dead fish down and away, and he just reached out and slapped at it. You know what I'm talking about.
Well, you should be speaking about fish here in Seattle.
Yes.
We saw a few of them the last time down at the Pike Street Market, didn't we?
Yes, and some of the guys on the team went fishing yesterday in the off day. Went salmon coho fishing. Out in the Sound. It's not the ocean, by the way.
Care. No,
it's the Sound.
not. We know that. It's
Yeah.
Puget Sound.
Yeah.
Although some of our fellows think that's the ocean.
Yeah.
About an hour and a half, 2 hours away from the Pacific. That one's low and inside for ball one to Franklin Gutierrez. 270, 16 home runs. He's driven in 60. Split time with the Indians this year and also these Mariners. Garcia's 1-0 pitch to the center fielder. That's a strike, 1-1. I said this year. Last year he came over here. The 1-1 is a high strike, 1-2 now. Do you think that was a strike?
I'll take it all day. You know, here's the thing about high strikes to me, Ed, is hitters look back like, what?
Yeah.
What are you calling it? It's a great pitch to hit. High fastball, high breaking ball, swing at it.
Garcia sidestep kick, the 1-2 pitch. That's outside, 2-2 now.
I never really complained about a high strike unless it crossed my chin or something. There's only one guy that really called that, and he was bad.
How about when you were pitching?
When I was pitching, I would have loved them calling that one because I couldn't get the ball down. I had some problems there.
2 balls, 2 strikes of Franklin Gutierrez. Infield back, outfield straight up and deep. Swinging a ground ball to third. Beckham will wait for a convenient hop. The long throw to first, stretched by Konerko. They get Gutierrez by a stride with 2 down. Lopez bats with the bases empty. No score. We're in the first.
I've got a little time. As a reminder, book a White Sox group outing in a party area today. Save on each ticket for a group of 20 or more fans. There's the warning track, fan deck, or individual game diamond suites that are available. Book a group outing or party area today. Just call 312-674-1000 or visit whitesox.com.
For Jose Lopez, the year 270, 23 home runs and 86 runs batted in. Don't think of him as a power guy, but he'll fool you. There's a strike. Check at the out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by National City. Find the checking account that's right for you. Visit nationalcity.com/checking. Kansas City beat Detroit 11-1. There's strike 2. 11-1.
Yeah, that's nice.
We'll see Kansas City Friday.
Well, not if they're going to score those kind of runs. I don't want to see them.
Baltimore up into Tampa Bay 10-5. That was at Camden Yards. That one's in the dirt. 1-2 now. Oakland at Texas, 6th inning, 6-1 A's. And Minnesota leads Cleveland at the Metrodome. That's in the 6th. 5-3 Twins. Red Sox beat the Angels tonight 4-1. Red Sox trying to secure a spot as a wild card. There's one off the glove of Garcia that rolls to second, has it, throws. He got him. 1-4-3 on the out. The Mariners do what the Sox did, up and out in order in the first. To the second here in Seattle. White Sox and Mariners, no score. White Sox bad here in the second, no score. Mariners went 3 up, 3 down. So the White Sox, it's Konerko leading off for the Sox here in the second. Then Kotze and Dye to follow. Season series with the Mariners is tied at 3. White Sox losers on Sunday at Anaheim 3-2 and scored 2 in the first. Here's the line drive foul for strike 1. Enjoyed the off day yesterday. Last 12 games here at Safeco Field. The White Sox have gone 3-9. August 14th, one of those 9 losses. Took 14 innings. Mariners won 1-0.
That was a disappointing ball game.
Yes. For some, yeah.
Yeah.
For us, definitely. Here's the 0-1 of the Sox captain. Outside low, 1 ball, 1 strike. You're talking about Snell being sent from the Pirates down to the minor leagues.
Oh, man.
Pretty good outing.
Yeah, he went from the big leagues in his first minor league outing. 7 innings pitched, 17 strikeouts.
Here's the 1-1 down, 2 balls and a strike.
You got to be horning me.
How many do you have in a row? 13?
13 in a row. Is the game that
Baker's
easy?
dozen.
I mean, was that an indication of somebody not happy about being sent down?
Yeah,
I'll show you.
So. Well, I would like. I mean, I don't care who he pitched against, but I'd like to know, just so if we see anybody from that team, we could find out. Here's the 2-1 Snell pitch. Konerko takes ball 3. It's inside.
I got to believe that he had flames shooting out of his nostrils
Arm.
that day.
He's throwing heat.
It's 17 strikeouts. It was against Toledo.
That's Detroit's AAA team.
Ouch. 2 hits,
Yeah.
1 unearned run.
The 3-1, a swing and a high fly ball, lazy fly. The short right field. Suzuki will look up into the sky. He's under it, makes the catch. 4 in a row retired for Kotze.
And some may ask, well, what the heck are you talking about minor league baseball for? Well, truth be told, 17 strikeouts. I'm talking about that anywhere somebody does it. In 7 innings?
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, professional baseball.
Come
certainly.
on. I don't care
You
where.
were twirling that Little League, weren't you?
Yeah, well, yeah, but, that was
17
special.
out of 18?
Yeah. You and I, we shut them down.
Not me.
Oh, I've heard the stories. You're
No,
legendary.
they're not true. Kotze looks at a pitch, tailing outside for ball one. Mark Kotze, the White Sox got him, and all he has done is played flawlessly on defense. He swung the bat to a .268 average with 4 homers. Just swinging a broken bat ground ball to first. First baseman's got it, and he steps on the bag to get Kotze. Carp did not look easy on that ball.
No, he did not at all.
He was feeling for that.
Yeah, he reached out there as if he was unsure of what was going on. He came over to trade from the New York Mets during the offseason. That sent J.J. Putz and others to the Mets.
Putz is very happy he's in New York. Oof. They playing bad baseball. That one's up and in to die for ball one. We talk about Jermaine Dye's average .251, but the second half, unlike him, his average falling considerably from almost 300. Here's the 1-0 to J.D. That's inside. 2 balls and a strike, or I should say 2 balls, no strikes. I'm going to check the Mets record. Mets have been eliminated. They're only 63 and 81. That payroll's low, though. It's over 110 million. There's a swing and a miss, 2-1.
Well, you start talking about payroll, you talk about records. Obviously, the payroll should be an indication that the record should be a winning record. But if guys don't play well, it doesn't matter how much you make.
2-1 in the dirt, 3-1. And I'm notwithstanding, Delgado's been hurt for a while. They've had some problems. Third baseman's been hurt. Wright's been hurt for a while. Took one off the head. Yeah, Reyes has been out, the shortstop. But you would think that the pitching would get better. And it has not. The 3-1 to Die. Check, swing, foul back. Is that what happens when you're not hitting? That ball was up and into J.D.
Well, you start thinking to yourself, all right, I'm going to catch me a fastball right here. You cheat just a little bit, and then it's not where you were looking, and you can't pull the barrel back quick enough.
2 outs. We're in the second at Safeco Field. Glad you're with us tonight. No score. Die in a battle with Ian Snell with the bases empty. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Sidestep kick in the 3-2 pitch. He walked him.
Let me tell you, there's no good Major League Baseball player that likes to play poorly, and Jermaine has had his struggles in the second half. He's hitting .251, as Ed mentioned, and the one thing that I'll let you know, he does not want to drop below .250. That becomes a point of pride. If he starts swinging the bat better, he'll start thinking, okay, I can reach .260. And then if he gets there, he'll think, okay, .265. He'll just keep on going up in increments that you think, all right, not a bad year after all. I finished up strongly.
Here's Carlos Quentin, batting .234 with 16 homers. Die at first on the delivery, a swing and a shot to third. Beltre's got it, a lob to second. And that's it for the White Sox. No runs, no hits, a walk. They leave a runner halfway through the second, no score here in Seattle. Mariners bat here in the second. It's Ken Griffey Jr. to lead it off. Beltre and then Hall to follow. Garcia perfect first. Got Suzuki on a pop out to left. A ground out by Gutierrez to third. And then Lopez lined one up the middle off Freddie's glove that carried him to the second baseman Getz, who threw him out. And Griffey was the one who won the game the last time we were here in 14 innings with a double down the right field line. First one in there for strike one. 14 homers, his average at .219 and 45 runs batted in. We talk about guys who get hurt in their career. This is one of them because he'd have beat everybody's home run record. That fastball up and in, 1-1. Former teammates and Griffey will stare out at Freddie Garcia as if to say, come on, are you kidding me with that? Here's the 1-1. Swinging a long one to right, down the line to the pole. If it's fair, it's a home run. This ball is just foul. Throwing him a breaking ball, Darren, is like giving him a reason to go deep.
Wow. I was just looking where that ball landed, Ed, and of course, the way we always say, hey, that looked like a fair ball, but Griffey stood at home plate, and the first base umpire, Angel Hernandez, looked at it, gave it a good look. He said, But he just missed it.
1-2 pitch to Junior, foul tipped in and out of the glove of Przinsky.
So you don't like the off-speed stuff to Junior?
No, I think you speed up his bat. I don't think he can catch up to a fastball anymore at 90 miles an hour. The problem is, Freddie doesn't throw 90 anymore.
Right. So, bad combination working.
It's not a good thing. He edges Griffey, but the surprise could be from Freddie Garcia. The 1-2 to Griff, high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Let's not forget, Griffey was responsible for the White Sox getting in the playoffs last year with that throw that he made to nail Michael Kadire at the home plate at U.S. Cellular Field. Game 163 last year. Here's a swing and a line drive down the right field line to the corner. It goes, and this ball's foul. There's a changeup, so he's hit his curveball and his changeup close to home runs. 326 down the right field line here at Safeco Field. The alleyway in right center is 385. Deepest part of the ballpark, straightaway center at 405. Angle in the wall over to left center at 388. And 331 down the line and left.
I remember when this stadium opened 10 years ago, and Junior said, this place is too big. He did not want to play here.
Garcia's 2-2 in the dirt. 3-2 now, and that goes to the backstop. Well, I think he and Jay Buhner came over here and put the, that gold shovel as the first shot of dirt to come out of what was going to be the new facility here.
Right.
And when they saw it, when it was being built, they went, this thing's too big.
They were used to the Kingdome over there, and they felt that was a homer haven, and then this still looked like, uh-oh.
They were right about it being a homer haven. The 3-2 to Griffey, a swing and a long one to right. Moving back and watching it fly out is Kotze. For Griffey is 15th. Mariners lead 1-0. Talked about the slow stuff, and that was a changeup.
Well, that ball only got out of here by about 50 feet. So
that was close to the 385 sign in right center.
So what I don't understand is why, when this place first opened, I'll be honest with you, I never understood why he felt this place was too big. That's the same thing Juan Gonzalez said about Detroit's Tiger Stadium, and he decides not to sign that multi-year deal that would have paid him still to this day.
Yes.
And they brought the fences in anyway.
So leadoff home run, here's Beltray. Joe Adrian takes ball one. This is a guy whose contract is up, and he came from the Los Angeles Dodgers. He had, I believe, 49 home runs his last year there. The 1-0 to Beltray, a swing and a high fly ball to right. Playable for Kotze, broke back. Now Mark comes in towards the line and right, makes the catch. So after the Griffey home run, Beltray a fly to right for Bill Hall.
Yeah, that was just an interesting at bat that Freddie continued to throw King Griffey Jr. slow stuff after he just ripped it foul a couple of times. Maybe he felt third time was a charm. He might be out in front of it, but instead he timed it perfectly. Not only timed it perfectly, he no longer even pulled it down the line. He hit it to right center.
Figured out really gets into this thing and let it go. So here's the former Brewer, Bill Hall. 257 with a home run and 8 runs batted in. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short. Ramirez better charged. He does. The throw across, and he gets Hall by a stride and a half for the second out. Before Jojima bats, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. Listen to White Sox baseball on the Score on the Sox Radio Network.
Eastern Iowa's leader in sports play-by-play. This is 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
With Darren Jackson, Ed Farmer at Safeco Field in Seattle. Glad you're with us tonight. Lloyd Glazer is our engineer here. The guys in the Score studio in downtown Chicago, Joe Ostrowski and Chris Tannehill work there. 2 down for Jojima on the pitch. Outside half for strike one. This is a guy that they were trying to unload at one time, and now he has become the regular catcher. The 0-1 to Kenji. Pulled foul on the ground. 0-2 now.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. They had a catcher that they felt was going to just step right in and be a superstar, young kid from their minor leagues. And I can't even think of who it is right now, but
Clement.
And he's not even here.
No. Here you go. The 0-2, a swing and a line drive to right. This is trouble. Kotze will chase this ball towards the warning track, and it bounces off the wall. Jojima is at second base. Kotze dropped the ball. Jojima stopped running. He should be at third base.
And he settled for the double.
Looked like a hanging breaking ball.
Well, Freddie's going to give up some runs. I mean, you know it, I know it. I think it was just a changeup or splitter that didn't do much. It was up, and he shoots it the other direction. But, Freddie's going to give up a run, 2 or 3 even. We've seen that in his last 5 starts. But it's all about the offense, giving him enough support to where it turns out to be a good performance for him.
Mentioned the White Sox losers on Sunday, 3-2 down there in Anaheim. They won in 10 innings on Saturday, 4-3. The opener went to the Angels. Check that score here. As pitch one is for strike one. This is Michael Karp, the first baseman, at 250. Just up with the major league team.
Hey, at 277 in the minor leagues, 15 homers, 64 driven in, 25 doubles down there.
0-1. Fastball misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mentioned the Angel game on Friday passed 7-1. So the White Sox have not been scoring runs. It took 10 to score 4 runs on Saturday, and they got 2 in the first inning in Anaheim, and that was quickly tied. The White Sox lose 3-2 on Sunday. Just swinging a line drive to right. Kotze's been busy, comes running in, can't get it. He plays it on one hop. The throw's coming home. He's going to be close. Sliding home is Jojima. The ball gets away from Brzezinski. Freddie Garcia not backing up. Carp's at second base. Mariners have added a run here in the second. They now lead 2-0.
Yeah, Freddie Garcia saying it's my fault. Well, that doesn't help at all in this situation. You got a job to do once you throw the baseball, and Freddie was a sightseer. He was standing halfway between home plate and the pitcher's mound, just watching the play develop. Kotze is trying to bust his butt and help his pitcher out, throw somebody out at the plate for him, and then Kotze is going to get an error for his trouble.
But Brzezinski would block that baseball better.
Well, even with
the
that
run was already home.
Yeah, even with that being said, if Freddie's behind the home plate, the guy doesn't advance into second base.
There's the shortstop, Jack Wilson, the former Pirate. That's high for ball 1 to Jack. Was Wilson on a Sunday afternoon at U.S. Cellular when the Pirates were in town. The White Sox were going for the sweep. I believe his home run tied the game in the 9th inning. Pirates went on to win it and avoid the sweep. The 1-0. Swinging a bouncing ball to third. Beckham gets a nice hop. Sidearm throw across, and he's got Wilson, and that's it for the Mariners. They pick up 2 runs in this inning on 3 hits, highlighted by Ken Griffey's home run, an error, and Carpenter's left at second base. To the third here at Safeco Field, 2-0 Seattle.
And now back to Chicago White Sox baseball right here on Eastern Iowa's home of the Sox, 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM.
Third inning, Mariners scored 2 in the second. They lead 2-0 for the White Sox. Chris Getz will lead it off here in the third.
Actually, it's a fifth third inning sponsored by Fifth Third Bank. Fifth Third Bank Dream Guard can help you save more, spend less, and guard your dreams. Visit 53.com.
So it's Getz, then Ramirez. That's 8-9 for Skipper Ozzie Guillen at the top of the order with Scotty Podsednik trying to solve the mystery of one Ian Snell, the right-hander's delivery. That's high for ball 1. They gave Kotze the error on the throw home as Carpet singled in Jojima, and then they just switched it. It's an error on the catcher. The 1-0, that's a strike, 1-1.
Well, you mentioned that you felt that A.J. should have blocked that ball. I mean, it wasn't that bad of a throw, but generally it doesn't matter. It gets thrown from the outfielder and somebody misses, it's just given to them.
1-1, foul to play to the left, 1-2 now.
So it's good to see that a ball that the catcher had a routine play just to keep it in front of him, and if he doesn't, I mean, he's the one that probably should be held responsible, and it turns out that he is.
It's one of the few times I've seen him not make that play, at least knock it down. 1 ball, 2 strikes on the Michigan standout. Chris Getz, Snell's delivery on 1-2, swung and missed. He's out on strikes. You don't see that very often with Chris Getz.
No, that was pretty unique little changeup from Ian Snell, looked like. This thing was diving away. It's a turnover changeup, actually, from the right-hander. And Getz was completely fooled, just reached out at it, behind going one way and the back going another.
You throw that all the time, you're going to strike out a few in a row. There's Ramirez. 2 down, top of the order, and Podsednik.
Well, we're looking at a guy that seems to be throwing the ball pretty darn well up to this point. And if he's going to gain in confidence, which I think is when he does, that's when he goes out and has a good night. Other times he doesn't have that much confidence. He issues a lot of walks because the numbers are lopsided. More walks than strikeouts allowed on the season.
And against the White Sox in his career, 0-2 with an earned run average, standing right at 10 is Ian Snell. 2-0 Seattle. 2 down the White Sox third, and here's Podsednik, and that's high for ball 1. Scotty the first time up, a high lazy fly to left. His batting average just over 300. There's a swing and a foul back, 1 ball, 1 strike. Has he done enough for him to come back next year?
Scott Podsednik?
Yep.
How could he not have? The numbers that he's put up, to me,
he's been sensational.
Yeah, he's been the offensive MVP. When the team needed him to do stuff, he was doing it.
Next one, a swing and a tap foul at home plate. In fact, it hit in front of home plate, bounced over the catcher's head. What's that English you were talking about? 1-2.
I don't know anything what you're talking about.
You're almost like Sergeant Schultz, aren't you, from Hogan's
I know
Heroes?
nothing.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
I know this. The official limousine of the White Sox is Windy City Limos. You can find them online at windycitylimos.com. Call them at 847-916-9300. Here's a base hit to right by Scott Podsednik with 2 down on the Sox third. First hit for the White Sox.
Well, usually that's how the offense gets going, by Scott Pasednik or Beckham at the top getting it done, and then just like that, they've got something across the board. Hopefully, a little 2-out rally gets going.
Harris back at 279 with 11 home runs. 0 for 1 hit a rocket shot to Suzuki, the right fielder. Ichiro came in and caught it chest high. Rarely do I ever see him make a mistake.
Who's that?
Suzuki.
Ichiro Suzuki.
Yeah. Rarely do I see him make a mistake. When he does make a mistake, I can't believe he's done it.
I know. I mean, usually your jaw's on the ground.
Yeah.
It happens, though. He's human.
Pasednik leaning but not running. The pitch to Beckham, low for ball 1. Right back here tomorrow night, Gavin Floyd will start against Ryan Roland Smith. Pre-game show 8:35 Chicago time. Lineups with Darren at 9:05. All of the first pitch at 9:10 as Chris Ranchi will get us started at 8:35. Karp guards against Pasednik at first, who has a pretty good lead. Snell will look over his shoulder there. Now a quick throw, and Scotty's back on the dive.
You know, I think Snell can get that ball over there a little bit quicker, so hopefully Scotty Pods doesn't fall for that move.
In that little token toss over there?
Yes.
He's got a slightly larger lead now away from first. And the delivery to Beckham, that's right in there at the knees, 1-1. For a guy who's walked a lot, he has not worked into deep counts so far, although we're only in the third.
Game of adjustments. He has made his adjustments tonight compared to other starts.
All the Sox have to do is look on that scoreboard and left where the Royals pounded the Tigers 11-1. Pasednik not running, and the 1-1, a swing and a line drive foul past third.
Yeah, it's funny because I always felt it's better not to look at the score, but it just puts that extra added pressure you don't need. If you're looking and saying, oh, they've already lost, what you need to focus on is this guy who's pitching, and that's it, as a hitter, and make the plays for the guy that's pitching for you.
Twins are leading 5-3 at Cleveland. This is on the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by the Chicago Tribune. Our sports section rated this year's AP Top 10 with the Tribune. It's a whole new day. There's a swing and a miss. Beckham's out. Snell struck out the side. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, 2-out single by Pasednik. Beckham strikeout. Snell goes to the bench. Bottom of the third coming up, 2-0 Seattle. Mariners bat here in the third inning, leading it off. Number 1 place hitter Ichiro Suzuki, 0 for 1 with a fly to left fielder Carlos Quentin in the pitch. High for ball 1. Mariners lead 2-0 on a 2-run inning. The second, highlighted by Griffey's home run. Number 636. 636, that is. There's the 1-0 to Ichiro. Down and in, 2-0. Another note on that. Garcia becomes the 404th pitcher that Griffey is homered off of. Ouch.
Well, I mean,
well, you're not on that list, are you?
Heck no.
2-0 pitch, that's high, 3-0.
I kept him in the yard,
Yeah.
partner. I kept him in the yard for my 2
Did you get
innings.
the win when you pitched?
No, I didn't have an opportunity. My offense did nothing for me. I came in trailing, and we continued to trail.
3-0. He walked him on 4 in a row. Speed at first base. Suzuki has 24 steals this year. He's been caught 8 times.
Here's a reminder on September 25th. Sox host the Tigers at 7:11 p.m. The first 20,000 fans will receive a White Sox luggage tag presented by Apple Vacations. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com.
So a walk to Suzuki, and here's Gutierrez. Franklin 0 for 1 with the ground out to third. He does that here. It'll put 2 outs on the board. Go around the horn at 5-4-3. No outs at first base. Suzuki always a threat to go, and I think he'll be running off Garcia. Huge lead away from first. Looked there by Garcia, holding the ball on him. Does not run on the pitch. That's low for ball 1. You can hold the ball all you want, but you still have to throw one over home plate.
Right, and obviously Ichiro is always going to be a threat to steal. He has in the past, and he has 24 stolen bases this year. But I was just looking down and thinking, wait a minute. Chris Getz has 24 stolen bases, and he's been caught 6 times less stealing.
Throw over to first, and Konerko has to backhand that one.
Chris Getz has probably noticed little things like that. You talk yourself up, you make yourself good. You say, wait a minute, I've got 24 bags. Ichiro has 24 bags. Wait, I have a better stolen base percentage than him. You feel good about some of the things you've accomplished, especially if you've had a struggle that year.
Yeah.
It's nice to do little comparisons of some of the greats of the game.
You've done that with some of your pitching, haven't you?
No, not with the pitching.
Here's the 1-0. That's
No.
a strike 1-1.
Now, I did get 6
Clint
outs.
McGriff didn't help you, did
No,
he?
I did get 6 outs and
I feel
say
like
this.
I was there.
I said, it's not
This
that
is
tough.
easy.
It's not that tough.
Yeah.
6
Round
outs.
ball, round bat, I'll throw it over.
All I threw was a sinker. It's not that hard.
Give up any runs?
Defense let me down.
Yeah.
You know what that's like.
Sounds like a pitcher.
You know what that's like.
Not me. My defense played good for me.
Whatever.
Garcia looking first, the 1-1 showing bunt and missing is Gutierrez. Now it's 1-2. 2-0 Seattle. We're in their half of the third here at Safeco Field. What a beautiful ballpark this is. One of my favorites outside of U.S. Cellular now. And Miller Park in Milwaukee. Love that ballpark too.
Yeah, you do have an affinity towards that place.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty nice, but it's not up there on the top tier for me.
Well, it's just my opinion.
Well,
I'm
hey,
sure
look,
you have
you know
yours.
what? Yeah, usually we're we're close, but not this time.
That's true.
No.
Here's the 1-2. A swing and a line shot up the middle. Getz can't get his through for a hit. Up to get a Pasetnik, and he'll hold Suzuki at second base. The Mariners' first two batters are on safely here in the third.
Like what Pods did, he hustled his behind in there to get to that ball, keep the speedy Ichiro off of third base. That's what you have to do, get to the ball quickly, whether you can throw or not. The quicker you get to the ball, the more likely that base runner is to go ahead and hold up. And unfortunately, Freddie whiffed.
He did.
When he reached out there, it was right over his glove. Otherwise, he has a double play probably at first base.
Your favorite two ballparks in the American League?
I like ours. I like Seattle. Probably.
That's two.
Yeah, my favorite two.
Outside of U.S. Cellular. Here's Lopez. First pitch swinging and missing. Strike one.
Outside of U.S. Sailor in the American League, I like Comerica Park. I love Pittsburgh's ballpark.
Feel like they're in our division. We go there again next year, folks.
Yes.
Look at second, the 1-strike pitch to Lopez. Heater low, 1-1 strike. The press box where we are,
Well,
the
that's
game's
not
a
good.
rumor.
Right. Yeah.
We could see the river easier than we could see home plate.
That's true.
Guys out there sculling. Come on. A ball and a strike on Lopez, and the next one, that's down 2-1. This is dangerous territory being explored by one Freddie Garcia. He walked Suzuki. A 1-2 pitch, Gutierrez single to center. Now he works behind Lopez at 2 balls and a strike.
You know, Freddie needs to keep pitching, Ed, as if he's trying to prove something to make a team. Every time out.
Infield double play, depth the runners go. The pitch low, no throw. Double steal, 3-1 on Lopez. Suzuki is swipe bag number 25-14 for Gutierrez.
That was just too easy because Freddie is so deliberate to the plate, and he's now trying to focus on throwing strikes. Ichiro, I mean, he was almost like he was reading Freddie Garcia's mind. Know that he was going to be slow, just took off, timed it perfectly.
Is there anything to the fact that the White Sox came in here thinking they're better than Seattle, even though Seattle's 4 games over 500?
I don't think so.
Next one to Lopez, pulled foul on the ground, 3-2.
I honestly don't feel that they probably came in here thinking that. Mariners come in with a team earned run average to tonight's game at 3.94, which is the best in the American League. White Sox second best at 4.15, so not far behind them, but still, when you have to face that kind of pitching, you never come in saying, all right, let's go after the Mariners.
Base hit could put the Mariners up 4-0. They lead 2-0. We're in the third. No outs. Runners at second and third. The count 3-2 on Lopez in the delivery. A swing and a ground ball to third. Beckham looked at home. He had a play. No play there. He throws to first. One scores. RBI ground out. 3-0 Seattle.
That's a rookie mistake right there. I think Beckham would like to have the chance for that back again.
Brzezinski's yelling to him now because he came out from home plate and said, throw me the ball. I've got Suzuki.
Well, I mean, he's never going to have an easier play while playing at a back position as he was to throw somebody out at the plate. He had the angle, he had everything. He's got an accurate throwing arm. He just looked and just let Ichiro score. There was absolutely no reason for that to take place.
You have to think about that. It's premeditated, isn't it? Where you say, okay, he hits the ball to me. I'm going home with it if he's running. A pitch outside to Griff for ball one. A home run the first time up. His 15th, career number 626.
And to me, before ball is thrown, every guy out there on the other side of the baseball needs to have already visualized and thought about what should take place if it's hit to them.
On ball, no strikes. The next one from Garcia. Check swing. It's a strike anyway. 1-1. How about this? And I'm just going to throw this out there for you. When the manager gives you play back, do you concede the run on a ground ball at that point where he says just play back?
Well, you could. You could just assume he means, all right, just take the easy out. But you have to visualize before the ball's hit you. But if it's hit hard to me on one hop and he's running, I can get him at the plate. You got to help your team out.
1 out, a run in, 3-0 Seattle, and the next one to Griffey, fastball down the middle, 1-2.
Your manager's not going to be mad if you fire to home plate and you throw somebody out.
No, I don't think he'd be upset about that.
So, I mean, you can't sit there and say, oh, you told me to play back. I guess that meant take the easy out.
I think Suzuki knew he was going to be out also.
He did. I mean, it's almost as if he was reserved. All right, he's going to throw me out. I'm ready to get in a rundown.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Ken Griffey Jr. Griffey's average around 220 right now. Carlos Torres warms in the White Sox bullpen in left field. 1-2 on Griffey, 1 out. Gutierrez at second. Here's a swing and a towering fly ball down the right field line. Out and back is Getz. Down the line and right makes the catch. A bluff move towards third by Gutierrez, and the throw is cut off by Ramirez, the shortstop. Nicely done.
Yeah, that's not an easy play for Chris Getz, who's over there jockeying back and forth to hold the runner on at second. He had to hustle over there because Mark Kotsay had a long way to go as well as he was playing Ken Griffey Jr. back.
Mariners last year lost 101 games. This year, at this point of the season, they're 4 over break even. So here's Adrian Beltre. Adrian is 0 for 1 with a fly ball to Kotsay on right. Right-handed batter, Garcia right-handed pitcher. Freddie from the set, a check of the runner at second. He looks at Gutierrez and the pitch swung on a miss, strike one. Let's pause here 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to White Sox baseball and the score on the Sox Radio Network.
Eastern Iowa's leader in sports play-by-play. This is 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
With Darren Jackson, Ed Farmer at Safeco Field in Seattle, the 0-1 to Beltre, just outside 1 ball, 1 strike. Lloyd Glaze is our engineer here in the Score Studios in downtown Chicago. It's Joe Ostrowski and Chris Tannehill working there. On the Tribune scoreboard, the Cubs hosting the Brewers. They lead to the Cubs in the 8th at Wrigley, 12-5. And the Reds beat Houston 5-4. The next one to Beltre, tapped at home plate. The ball hit in front of home plate. Then bounced up, took off his batting helmet. May have caught him in the left cheek. Did you ever do that?
Unfortunately, yes.
Leave a mark?
The old bouncer off the plate, up and catch in the face.
Right in the grill.
Not usually as hard as Beltre just took it, though. I mean, it's like somebody just punched him in his right side of his face. You know, you like to shake that off. You know, you're a tough,
maybe
big
some
professional.
chiclets for tomorrow, too.
Oh, man.
Teeth falling out tonight.
Yeah, well, either way, you just act like that didn't hurt, especially if a pitcher hits you with the ball. I mean, that's when you really say.
Come out the next day, you look like the Elephant Man. That would be defined a little differently.
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter the next day. It's right then. Don't rub it.
No, don't want to do that. It hurts more. 1-2 the count on Beltre with a runner at second. The 1-2 is swinging a chopper towards short. Ramirez is going to have to hurry. Gloves, throws, and he got him. Nicely done. The damage limited to the Mariners here in the 3rd. They get a run on 1 hit, a walk, a single, a double steal, and a runner. Gutierrez dies at second to the 4th here at Safeco, 3-0 Seattle.
Right here on 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Here's the line score through 3. 3 runs, 4 hits for Seattle. The White Sox have a Podsednik single. To the 4th we go with the play-by-play. Here's Darren.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. As A.J. Pierzynski, who flied to left field, starts things off. He'll be followed by Paul Konerko and then Mark Kotsay. Hopefully lots more to get things going offensively for the White Sox. First pitch from Ian Snell on the way to A.J. It's hit hard towards left field. This is going to get down in front of Billy Hall on a big hop. He'll pick it, fire it back in, and hold Pierzynski to the leadoff single. First pitch he sees. He gets the offense going, does A.J.
Not going to trick him on that first pitch, are you?
Not A.J., that's for sure. What I like, though, is he stayed with the running fastball away into left field.
Did you know Jake Peavy's supposed to start on Saturday?
Yeah. Let's hope that everything goes okay up until then. He gets a chance to do so. Once he gets that chance and gets out there, it's good for him. He needs to go ahead, I think, and finish up, knowing that he is ready to go into the offseason healthy. If he can do that, he'll look forward to spring training. Paul Konerko flied to short right field in his only at bat. Pierzynski a small lead at first. Breaking ball just misses outside for ball 1 to Paulie. Konerko, the team leader in runs batted in with 82 on the season. Also in homers with 26. Dye has 25 right behind him. Snell set and delivers. That's outside 2-0. Mariners defense. Outfield straight up. Not too deep. Infield. Up the middle. Set for the double play. Paulie waves the bat around and waits for the 2-0 delivery. A Snell set. Kicks. And here's the pitch. That's taken just down 3-0. So put a little pressure on the pitcher Ian Snell and see what happens. So far he has looked pretty dominant through 3. He's just allowed his second hit of the contest. Here's a 3-0 pitch. That's right down the middle, called strike. 3-1.
You like swinging at the 3-0 pitch, didn't you?
Right situation? Yes.
If you batted 15 times with it, how many home runs did you hit?
Well, I didn't bat 15 times. I didn't swing 15 times 3-0 probably. Maybe about 8 times. I had, I think, 2 home runs.
That's good.
Well, not bad. Here's a 3-1. That's up and in, and Konerko will take his base.
This fourth is looking like the Seattle third.
Yeah, you get something started, and you never know what's going to happen, right?
Exactly. Second walk.
So Snell now even in that. He's allowed a couple of walks. Actually, he struck out the side in the third. He was extremely dominant. And running out to talk to his pitcher is Rick Adair, the pitching coach.
While he's out there, I'll tell you the U.S. Cellular text question of the game comes from Mike Anderson of Lisle, Illinois. This is the question: will the Sox have Jake Peavy on a limited pitch count when he makes his start to debut this Saturday in a Sox uniform? Chris Raji will talk about that post-game show. U.S. Cellular believe in something better.
Well, they're just breaking up that rock pile on the mound. So here's time to remind you that you can provide your guests with the ultimate baseball experience in the Jim Beam Club. This all-inclusive premium seating area located behind home plate features a Levy Catering pregame buffet, open bar, in-seat food and beverage menu, premium reserve parking, and much more. Just call 312-674-1000. Kotze, he awaits the first pitch from Snell. It's on its way. Fouled straight back by Mark. Kotze, he grounded to first base for the second out in the second inning. Jeff Cox, third base coach, letting the base runners know freeze on the line drive. In other words, don't get doubled up. Infield plays Kotze to pull. Snell checks the runner at second, now delivers. Pitch down and gets through the wickets of Jojima. It goes back to the backstop. The runners will advance 90 feet. Pass ball has been given to Jojima right through his legs. That one went. See the replay as I don't know how it can be given a pass ball when it bounced, but they may change that one. Either way, the White Sox with Pierzynski on third, Konerko on second, and nobody out for Mark Kotze.
That's going to be changed.
I agree. It's a 1-1 count on Kotze. He's going to look to get him over and get him in by pulling it to the right side. He does that. Line shot over the leap of the first baseman Karp. Into the right field corner it goes. Scoring is Pierzynski. Scoring is Konerko. Into second with a double is Kotze.
That was a rocket. And I think Karp went to get it, Darren, but it was by him already.
Yeah, I couldn't tell if it was by him or if he just misjudged his jump, but it appeared that he had the height. Kotze doubles for the 7th time this year, and with that double, a donation will be made to the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation, courtesy of Waste Management. It is right off the tip of the first baseman Mike Karp's glove.
It was.
So 2 in, 1 on. It's a 3-2 ball game. Mariners lead it, and Dye standing in swings and shoots one down the right field line. This is slicing foul. Jermaine drew a walk with 2 outs in the second. White Sox trying to get right back in this one as they gave up the 2 runs in the second, followed by 1 more in the third.
And that's been changed to a wild pitch, by the way.
Yeah, anytime a ball hits the dirt, shouldn't be a pass ball. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's down and out, and the count goes to 1-1 to Dye.
Snell does not look like the same pitcher here in the fourth that he did so in the third.
Yeah, he's a little amped up maybe. Something along the lines of, man, I'm feeling pretty good here. Team got me a little bit of a lead, and voila, just like that, he shows up in the fourth, and the White Sox offense is ready to go after him. Dye waving the bat over his shoulder. Here's the pitch to him. Slider misses, down in the way, 2-1 the count. 3-2 the lead for the Mariners.
I like Dye's approach. He was trying to go to the right side to get the runner Kotsay to third base. Almost got the bonus with a double.
Yeah, well, right here, he's got a good hitter situation. Let's see if Snell tries to run one in on his hands and keep him from moving it to the right side. Jojima gives the signs. Snell set. They set up away the pitch. High fly ball deep center field. Going back center fielder Gutierrez on the warning track. He sets up underneath it, makes the play. Tagging, heading towards third. Kotsay, he'll get there standing.
Deep enough to get him over, so it's a productive out for Dye.
So that'll bring up Mark Kotsay. Mark Kotsay's into third. It's Carlos Quentin who hit into a 5-4 fielder's choice to end the second inning. So Quentin an opportunity now to tie this game up. Man on third base, just one out. Keep an eye and see if the infield comes in to cut the run down at the plate if he goes. It is indeed up. So Quentin needed to drive it through the infield or deep enough for Kotsay to tag. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch.
Looked like a slider. Both bullpens are working.
Carlos pulling off of that last pitch, Ed.
Yes, he was. Left side was flying open.
Quentin need to stay on the ball up the middle to right center. The Snell is set. Swing and a miss, same pitch, same result.
No sense changing. If he's not going to make the adjustment, the pitcher won't either. But I think Quentin's going to make the adjustment here. A little broken bat looper scores the run with ease because the infield playing up.
Quentin,
this is where you can make a mistake, partner.
Well, he's out of the box and back in there quickly. He wants to make up for some mistakes on those swings. Here's the pitch. He tries to adjust. Same pitch. This one's fouled to the right into the seats. Count remains 0-2.
Now, if he talks to himself, he'll say that was an inch off the plate away. Anything further than that or at that spot, I'm not swinging anymore. But that's the hardest thing to do when you're batting.
And Snell try and run one in on him now that he reached out and covered the outside corner?
I don't know if he'll do that. Certainly that's the pitch should be thrown, but I don't know if he'll do that. I don't know if he has that kind of command.
We'll soon find out as here's the pitch. It's away and it's fouled back. Count remains 0-2. 3-2 the score. Mariners lead the White Sox. We're on the top of the fourth inning.
That was another slider. That's a big run at third base. I know it ties the game. It also makes Quentin feel better about himself, and it makes the Sox think, hey, we came back from a 3-0 deficit.
Infield drawn in. Carlos Quentin battling against Ian Snell. Here's the pitch. That bounces in front of the plate. Jojima blocks it nicely.
Kotsay does something special every time he's in the lineup. The fly ball by Dye, he went back and tagged and moved to third. So instead of it just being a fly out, and he was halfway, you get nothing for that. Now the pressure is on the pitcher and the catcher with this count of 1-2.
Well, I think Mark Kotsay is about as fundamentally sound as anybody we have in the White Sox uniform. Knows how to play the game correctly.
Certainly learn a lot from him, that's for sure.
Snell set. Count 1-0 to Quentin. Here's the pitch. Shot right down to third base. Beltre makes the play on the line out.
That was a rocket. Beltre's laughing.
Carlos Quentin won't be. Nice base running by Kotsay, not to be caught off on the line drive. Not leaning the wrong way.
Kotsay was telling him, you're not going to get me on that one.
Nice try, huh? So unfortunately, Carlos Quentin leaves a man on third. 2 outs now for Chris Getz. Here's the pitch. There's a bouncer out towards second base. Karp, long way to his right, grabs it, fires to Snell, just getting Getz at first base for the 3-1 out to end things here in the fourth. But the Sox, a couple of hits, a walk. They score 2, and it is now a 3-2 lead for the Mariners. We head to the bottom of the fourth. Back here in the bottom of the fourth inning, 3-2 lead for the Mariners. Freddie Garcia to face Billy Hall, the left fielder. Hall grounded to the shortstop and is only at bat. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike. 1-1 the count.
When he was with the Brewers, I thought he was a force. Really did. I thought that was a nice club they had there. And Hardy, the shortstop. Hardy spent some time in the minor leagues this year.
Yes, he has. There's a high fly ball out to center field. Scott Pasednik settles underneath it. routine fly out to start things off here in the bottom of the fourth.
I'm going to go to the out-of-town scoreboard brought by Cooney and Conway.
Yeah, I was just hoping you'd do
They've been
that.
helping families for over 50 years with developed mesothelioma, cancer caused by asbestos. For a free consultation, number to call is 1-800-360-8000. You can find them on the computer. The website is CooneyConway.com. Justice with a passion. Kansas City beat Detroit 11-1.
And Joe Jim takes a fastball up and in.
Baltimore doubled up the Tampa Bay Rays 10-5. 10-4, good buddy. Final as Toronto went to the Bronx to beat the Yankees.
Pitch down and out 2-0 to Joe Jima, who is 1 for 1 with a double and a run scored.
Angels lost last night 5-3, I believe it was, in Yankee Stadium. They go to Fenway. They lose tonight 4-1 to the Red Sox.
Swing and a miss and a wave more or less than a swing, and the count goes to 2-1.
Ninth inning at the Metrodome. The Twins lead the Indians 5-3, and Oakland leads the Texas 6-1. That game in the ninth.
Here's a 2-1 pitch. That's up and in. Called strike. There's Joe Jima. Can't believe it. 2-2.
That was a ball. That was up and in, just like you said.
Freddie Garcia liked it, and he's set, and he's back to work. Ground ball out to Ramirez. Stays down on it nicely. Fires across to get Joe Jima by 5 steps.
Continuing that scoreboard, Atlanta, they've been throwing some shutouts. They beat the New York Mets 6-0. Washington lost at Philadelphia 5-0 to the Fighting Phils. The Reds won better than the Astros at 5-4. Eighth inning, Cubs lead at Wrigley over the Brewers 12-5. The Florida Marlins beat the Cardinals 2-1. Same score, 2-1, but it's in the fifth inning. San Diego hosting the Arizona Diamondbacks.
There's a called strike to the first baseman Mike Carp, who has an RBI single in his only at bat.
Pittsburgh leads at Dodger Stadium in the fifth inning, 3-0 Bucks. 3-1 San Francisco leading the Rockies, the city by the bay in the third.
Breaking ball down and in to Carp, and the count goes to 1-1. First baseman for these Mariners, the normal everyday first baseman, Russell Branyan, went down to injury. He's out for the season, so Mike Carp gets an opportunity. Here's the 1-1 pitch, high and deep drive to right center field. Going back is Posednik at the warning track at the wall. He reaches up, smashes into the wall, misses the ball. It carries him away. Carp digging hard for third. Kotze backing up Posednik, gets it back in, but sliding into third base is Mike Carp with the triple.
I thought he was going to catch that ball, to be honest with you. Posednik may be hurt in center field. He challenged the wall, and the wall won. This ball was over his head. I mean, it was hit over 400 feet. Scotty ran back out on the warning track, had 2 more strides, reached up, couldn't get it, and then he face planted himself into that fence in center.
Yeah, it was just over the tip of his outreached glove, and then, thank goodness, that wall was padded. Posednik went down. Kotze went over to check on him, and then Scotty Pods let everybody know he was okay. Mark Kotze jumped up and gave the indication, the skull and crossbones across the front of the chest there, telling everybody, nope, he's okay, stay there.
Talk about the game in motion as Posednik was running back. Kotze was running over from right.
First pitch, called strike to the number 9 hitter, Jack Wilson.
And if you watch this game of baseball and just watch it a little bit closer, you'll see that there is poetry in the motion of each thing that happens. Somebody is going to move on each ball that is hit, and there'll be movement on other spots of the field, or there should be also.
There's a breaking ball that misses. 1-1 the count to Wilson. He's 0 for 1 with the ground out, and his 3-2 lead for the Mariners.
Because if you're standing and watching the play, you're in the wrong spot.
I'm glad you point that out, because that's one of the things in this game that drives me crazy. Guys not backing up. There's a fastball. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Called a ball. 2-1 the count.
Darren and I were talking today on the plane where Torrey Hunter over the weekend, for one of the few times, if only the first time that I can remember, where Torrey Hunter was not backing up a play. And I watched this thing on HBO about the kids in Compton, California, which is a depressed area in and around Los Angeles. I'll tell you more.
2-1 pitch. Ground ball out to the shortstop. Cutting in front of the shortstop, Beckham. He makes the play. Fires across to get Wilson by a step. Saving a run for the White Sox. Nice job by Gordon to end things here in the fourth. There's a triple with 2 outs. Mike Carp is stranded right there. We head to the fifth. Mariners lead it 3-2. back here at Safeco Field. Top of the fifth inning, 3-2 the score. Mariners lead the Sox. First pitch to Alexi Ramirez on the way. It's taken for a ball down. Alexi struck out swinging and is only at bat back in the third. Ramirez 276, 15 homers, 65 driven in on the year. Here's the 1-0 pitch. High pop right side. Heading back is the second baseman. The first baseman foul territory, reaching out, missing it is Carp.
If Carp leaves his feet, he's caught it, but I'm not so sure his left leg is healthy. Because when he was moving around second with a 2-out triple in the fourth, it looked like he was coming up a little short on that stride.
Maybe just a big man doesn't move that well. Maybe he's got a little
triple,
certain gait to his run, you know. Some guys that run with that little da-dun, 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 you know.
Folks, he's doing that like he's got a hitch in his get along.
Well, you pointed it out. I didn't
tell you to do that.
Doesn't look like he's hurt to me. That's what I'm saying. There's a swing and a foul back. 1-2 the count. So I'm trying to help you out here anyway. What you think you saw on that run?
I didn't see that. Whatever that was you were doing, that's not what I saw.
Sometimes you can get a little.
No, don't do it, please.
Little get along in your run. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. You know what I mean? My partner has blasted off. As here's the 1-2 pitch to Ramirez. It bounces in front of the plate, and Jojima somehow picked it in a very unusual fashion, with the glove going up from low to high in front of the plate. I don't know how he did it, but anyway, he held on to it in case Ramirez would have swung at it. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Alexi. There's a shot into center field. This looks like he can get down. It will, as Gutierrez plays it on a hop. So a leadoff single here in the fifth inning. Hopefully will lead to a run, as it did in the fourth. Pierzynski led off the fourth with a single, followed by a walk by Konerko, and then a double by Kotze. And that is the scoring. The double driving in 2 runs for the White Sox. These Mariners, Ken Griffey Jr. in his 15th home run of the year to start off the second. Then an RBI single by Carp drove in Jojima. They scored 2 in the second, then 1 more in the third, an RBI ground out by Lopez. Leadoff man Scott Podsednik is 1 for 2. He stands in. He's hit in 12 of his last 13 games. Here's the pitch. Bunt, pulls it towards the second base area. Racing hard is Scotty Podge. Backhand play by Ian Snell. What a play to get Podsednik by a step. My. Ian Snell looked like he had no chance. He went directly to the ball. First baseman Mike Carp held his ground. And Snell, falling towards second base, made a backhand shuttle and just got Podsednik. That's as good as it gets. Into second base, Ramirez on what should be called a sacrifice bunt. So that brings up Gordon Beckham. Beckham lined to right field in the first inning, then struck out swinging in the third. Here's the pickoff move towards second. No throw by Ian Snell as Ramirez gets back. Mariners, left side of the infield, plays Gordon Beckham as if he's more of a pull hitter. The outfield plays him straight up. Snell set. Checks the runner on second. Checks him again. Now timeout is called by the batter, Gordon Beckham. Three runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Mariners. 2-4-1 for the Sox. Beckham in the box. Pitcher set, checks the runner, and he delivers. Bounces in front of the plate, blocked by Jojima again. His count is 1-0. A.J. Pierzynski on deck. About 10 feet to the side of the on-deck little hitting area. Taking a good look at the pitcher, Ian Snell. Here's the pitch. Bouncer out to the shortstop, just to his left. He takes 2 steps, picks it, fires across to get Beckham by 4 steps. Jack Wilson making the routine play look just like that. Ramirez standing his ground out on second base. A.J. Pierzynski, the hitter, flied to left field in the first inning. And leading off the fourth, he singled into left field and then scored on the double by Mark Kotze. And Snell set. Pierzynski waves the bat high over his left shoulder. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball one. Seattle Mariners a record of 74 wins, 70 losses this season. Sox 2 games under 500 at 71 and 73. Sox with a better chance to make the postseason between the two teams. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That's outside, 2-0. When I say that, it's because the White Sox division obviously is not a powerhouse division with Detroit record 77 and 67, 10 games over 500 on the year. Whereas the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, well, they're 20 games over 500. There's a high shot foul in left field line. Actually, the Angels are 30 games over 500, excuse me. A little tougher for the Mariners to think that they have a chance. They are 12 and a half games back at the start of today. The infield, for some reason, they're shading Pierzynski as if he's a dead pull hitter. And overall, you would have to think that they are shading him as if he's a pull hitter. He uses the whole field, and he actually has hit the ball to left field twice in this game, so they're not adjusting at all. Here's the pitch to A.J. High pop, left side. This is going to get out of play behind the White Sox third base dugout.
The idea for Snell is to keep the ball down. That was down and created that drop back shoulder as we've talked about before. See the batters drop that right shoulder. If they're right-handed batters, left-handed batters, the left shoulder. What you do is you create an angle in your swing. He just did that to him.
Now Pierzynski just trying to find someplace nice and soft out there on that outfield grass to line the baseball. Would tie this game up at 3 as the Mariners lead it. Ramirez on second base. Snell delivers. Bouncer down to third base. The only one standing there is Beltre. He stops, fires across from a static position to get Pierzynski. Stranded at second base was Alexi Ramirez. He singled in the inning. We head to the bottom of the fifth inning. That's going to be the Mariners leading 3-2.
Eastern Iowa's home for White Sox baseball, 1600 ESPN Radio.
Boy, we didn't waste any time right out of the gate. A nice play, bare hand play by the second baseman Chris Getz after a deflection by the pitcher Freddie Garcia off the bat of Jose Lopez to end the first.
What is funny with Pierzynski is he called for that ball. When Beckham stopped, he made the catch. Did Pierzynski and looked at Beckham and said, "Where were you?"
Oh, he stirs it up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Here's the pitch to Gutierrez. It's called a ball. Franklin grounded to third base for the second out in the first. And he singled into center field in the third inning with Ichiro on. And then he also stole a base in the tail end of a double steal. Here's the 1-0 pitch. There's a called strike, 1-1. Franklin Gutierrez, 279 hitter with 16 homers and 60 driven in. Those are very nice numbers for the center fielder. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him, and that's just outside. 2-1 is the count. Crowd trying to motivate the hitter, Gutierrez. Here's the 2-1 pitch. High pop, right side. Foul territory towards the dugout of the Mariners. It's going to drift back out of play. Pierzynski's over there messing with Ken Griffey Jr. now.
He went over there like he was going to punch him.
Standing there talking to him. And now he'll run back over to the home plate area, will A.J. It seemed like everybody over there, other than Griffey, just turned their heads away from Pierzynski to standing there.
They know him.
As Ken Griffey Jr. standing there talking to him. 3-2 the lead for the Mariners. We're in the bottom of the fifth inning. 1 out. 2-2 count on Gutierrez. Freddie Garcia, hands set low, looking in for the sign, shaking off Pierzynski. It's taking a bit of time. Gutierrez being very patient. He's going to call timeout sooner or later. No, he's not, as Freddie gets the sign, and now he goes to work. High pop-up, left field. Going back is Ramirez. Coming in hard, Quentin calling for it, makes the play.
It's Gutierrez wishes they call timeout. That bat can get heavy, can it?
It can. What it does is it just messes up your thinking. You're thinking too long. You're standing there going, okay, what's going on? Why is he going through all these signs? Why? You don't need to be thinking about that. You need to get in, stick to your game plan, and let the ball be delivered.
Should return to the catcher and say, is he inventing one out here? Come on, let's go.
No. Here's a pitch to Lopez. Ripped down to third. Diving play by the third baseman Beckham. He gets up and fires to get Lopez.
Wow.
That ball down the line hard. Extra bases taken away by Gordon Beckham. So a nice inning here for Freddie as he retires him in order. First time he's done that since the first. We head to the sixth. Mariners lead 3-2. Back here at Safeco Field, Mariners lead 3-2. Starting things off, the number 4 hitter for the White Sox, Paul Konerko, and back with the play-by-play, my partner Ed Farmer.
All right, Darren, it is Konerko, then Kotsay and Dye for the White Sox. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Sox with an error. 3 runs, 5 hits for Seattle. The White Sox got their 2 runs in the fourth. Mariners 2 in the second, 1 in the third. That one inside for ball 1 to Paul Konerko. His evening. 0 for 1 officially. Walk and a run scored in the fourth. In the second, hit a fly ball, the right fielder Ichiro Suzuki. 1-0. Outside, I guess. 2 balls, no strikes. That strike zone now has gotten a little narrower at home plate. That looked pretty good.
Makes the hitters feel a little bit better about themselves.
Well, that's why the pitcher's a giving man.
Also should make them hit the ball a little further.
2-0 pitch, line drive to left, down the line to the corner. This one will go. Hits on the warning track in fair territory off the 331 side, and Konerko's got a double.
Yeah, usually the tighter the strike zone becomes, the more hits hitters are going to pick up, and we just saw the evidence there.
The Mariner bullpen phone's going to ring soon. The White Sox bullpen is working right now. So here's Kotsay last time up, a 2-run double that was in the fourth, and then was stranded at third with the tying run. I mentioned it last year, the Mariners losers of 100 games. This year, not going to happen.
No, and I'm laying odds they're going to finish with a winning record as well.
Nice trip coming up after the Yankees are here. That one's low for ball 1. They go to Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg, Florida. Is it 3 there or 2?
Yeah, it's 3 in Tampa.
And
no, actually 2 in Tampa.
2 in Tampa, then to Toronto.
For 4.
We go to Toronto again next year, don't we, for 4?
Call that the Bermuda Triangle, the trip they're going on.
So now a look at second as he checks Konerko, the 1-0 pitch. Tailing fastball outside 2-0. Is he being too selfish with his zone, Snell?
I'd say no. I mean, seriously, how much confidence can he be pitching with? I mean, he's had control issues tonight. Well, he's thrown the ball fairly well, but that's got to be lurking in the back of his mind. Control has been a problem for him.
There's a swing and a bouncer to second. On the charge, Lopez has it. Flips to the first baseman, Karp, and they get Kotsay productive out with Konerko at third with 1 out.
Well, we talked about Kotsay and what he is capable of doing out there on the field. He's such a professional. He does all the little things right. Now, of course, he's not going to execute everything perfectly, but I'll tell you this, he does more so in opportunities than most guys on the team. He gets it done.
Mariners will bring the infield up. The shortstop and second baseman almost with their toes on the grass now. The shortstop, Wilson, will back up. They'll play halfway on the left side. Now Wilson wanders a bit towards second. This is Jermaine Dye. Konerko on a ground ball will not be running unless it gets through the infield. Try and run a third. Pitch to Dye. Slider, strike 1. Has Joe Jermaine had problems throwing the ball back to the pitcher?
No, I haven't seen that.
Because the shortstop and second baseman, when the pitch has been delivered and the catcher goes to throw it back, they converge almost behind the pitcher's mound.
He's only made 1 error this year.
Oh, 1 pitch fouled back. Now it's 0-2 on JD.
Well, this is an opportunity for Jermaine to do something positive. And unfortunately, quickly, he's 0-2. Let the ball get a little too deep, and he's got too much of an angle as he's dropping that bat barrel down below the ball.
I think the ball that Dye hammers is the one down and in. Next one, slider inside corner, strike 3.
And that's just perfect. That's part of the course when you're struggling. Is you get pitches to hit, you foul them off, and then you take one that you should be hitting.
That looked like a backup slider.
Yes, it did.
That is the 4th strikeout for Snell. 2 down runner at third for Quentin. White Sox have already left 1 runner at third base. That was in the 4th. And that was with no outs. I should say with 1 out. He moved to third. Here's a swing and a chopper foul up the third baseline. Kotsay was at second after that double. The die hit a fly ball to the warning track at center, and Mark moved to third. Quentin, who's at home plate right now, lined out to the third baseman and gets bounced one to first. Carp made a nice play and flipped to the pitcher covering, and they just did get Chris at first base. 0-1 the count, 2 down. Snell's next one is swinging a pop up just short of our booth. The count now 0-2.
We haven't had any action in a long time, man. I'm serious.
I think we've had one up here.
Yeah.
When you caught it at U.S. Cellular?
Yeah, I'm getting a little agitated. You know, this is a down year. It's a radio booth, man. It doesn't get the same kind of action that the old booth that I was in. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of action. Can you change that up for me?
Should I to go back there?
No. Hey. You might as well
We'll just switch booths.
What'd you poke me in the eye right there?
I'm sorry.
That was a left poke.
Here's the 0-2 to Quentin, down 1 ball, 2 strikes. We could switch booths with him, couldn't we?
Well, see, now that's more like it.
That's where I was going with that. Do you want to go back over there?
Well,
to the booth.
You know, we're not attached at the hip or anything.
No.
But still, yeah. Yeah, I'll take you on over there with
me.
Okay. Yeah.
Thanks. I won't be able to find my way. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Quentin. A base hit here would be huge to get the game at 3 even.
Leave you the breadcrumbs out there. You'll be okay.
The 1-2, swinging a shot. The pitcher caught it. Line drive up the middle. And Snell catches it. That's it for the Sox. Quentin the last 2 times up. Line outs to third, and this one to the pitcher. No runs. 1 hit. The White Sox waste a leadoff double. They leave Konerko at third base. Halfway through the 6th, 3-2 Seattle. Mariners bat here in the 6th inning. They lead the White Sox 3-2. Hits are even at 5 apiece, and the Sox have the game's lone error. Griffey will lead it off, then Beltre and Hall to follow. And Griff tonight, a home run and a pop out. Garcia's delivery, right in there, strike 1. That was a heater. So you got Griffey looking for off-speed stuff now?
Well, he got him out with a fastball last time up. I think that might be the wise choice, as you mentioned it the first time through. Off-speed stuff, he hit hard.
The 0-1 to Junior. I guess it's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We said the play was getting smaller. Still the same size. I don't think the home plate umpire is calling the ones that are tailing just off the plate away. And it's not a strike. It's not a strike. There's the 1-1 to Junior. High and outside, 2-1. Garcia and Griffey Jr. believe teammates here.
Yes.
And then Junior went to Cincinnati and to the White Sox last year. Part of that division winning club. And the 2-1, Griffey swings and fouls this one out of play to the left. Will the you think he's trying to set up Garcia for a changeup or an off-speed pitch?
I don't think so. I think he learned his lesson, actually. That first time through when he kept throwing him the off-speed stuff and he finally hit one out of here. You got to stay with the hard stuff.
Here's one of the nice guys in the game of baseball, Ken Griffey Jr., notwithstanding the accomplishments that he has made. And the 2-2 outside, 3-2, very close call. Just a nice guy to have around. A tremendous sense of humor also.
Yeah, I think actually he has, developed that sense of humor with age. There was a time,
he didn't have it. No,
early part of his career. I mean, you mess around with him, he might crack back on you pretty hard and personal.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Griffey waiting in the left-handed batter's box. Garcia has just now picked out the sign he wants, and he stops his delivery. Remember, I was interviewing him on Sports Channel, and he told me we were going to do the interview, and it didn't work out that way. The 3-2 pitch, swung and a miss, threw him a curveball on 3-2. Griffey out on strikes.
Well, that was the right time to throw it.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Junior was the kind of guy back in the day where you might say something to him like, "Hey, Kenny, your feet smell so bad, you scare everybody in the locker room away." And he'd be like, "Yeah, well, you stink." It's like, whoa, hey, don't get personal.
You
now.
Said that to him?
No, but I'm just,
just you could say that to him.
Yeah, just keeping it loose, and he might just, wow, knife right to the back. Look out.
It might have been true. You don't know. There's a swing and a liner foul.
Well, that's the bad thing.
Yeah.
What he said was true. It wasn't fair.
No.
That's not. We know his feet probably didn't stink. I mean, just an example. I don't know why you're going there.
I didn't. You explored that deeply, I'm afraid. 0-1 the count of Beltre, 1 out. The strikeout of Griffey. Sponsored by DuPage Oncology Center, working to strike out cancer. 0-1 the count on Beltre. A free agent at the end of the year. The 0-1 pitch waved at, trying to go deep, couldn't connect. 0-2 now. Sox down 3-2. We're in the Mariners half of the sixth here at the Emerald City of Seattle, Washington. Glad you're with us tonight. Hopefully the Sox will come back. If they look at the scoreboard, they can see without any problem that Detroit has lost to Kansas City at Comerica Park 11-1. The 0-2 to Beltre, and the dirt bounces off the shin guard of Przinsky right back to Freddie Garcia, who throws the ball out of play.
48 home runs.
That was with the Dodgers?
121 driven in his free agent year with the Dodgers. Hit .334 as well.
I believe he was awarded with a contract in excess of $58 million.
Well, 5-year deal to come up here, and he got paid.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Beltre waiting, and now it calls time at home plate.
He's entertaining, I know that.
I know this. He could play third base with the best of them.
Yeah, he's won his Gold Gloves.
The 1-2. Swinging a line drive up the middle, base hit. That ball was smoked. Ball gets away from Ramirez, who picks it up and throws to Getz, but Beltre had already turned around to go back to first. So 1 on, 1 out for Bill Hall, the left fielder. That ball was right down the middle.
Well, Beltre has always had that approach of hitting the ball towards right center field. And if you throw something, a mistake over the middle of the plate, he has the ability to hit it back just up the middle. But he's always been a smart hitter in the approach-wise. Keep the average up that way.
So here's Hall. Garcia and the White Sox looking for an inning-ending double play on the ground. Hall open stance, right-handed batter's box. Beltre a lean away from first and draws a throw from Garcia, and he's back safely. Do you have the Binny's attendance?
About 17,153.
It was brought to you by Binny's Beverage Depot, Chicagoland's #1 superstore for wine, spirits, and beers. You're on top of that, weren't you?
I'm all under it.
1 out, 1 on. 3-2 Mariners. We're in the sixth. The next one to Hall. High. 1 ball, no strikes.
Used to see Bill Hall in that. They had that golf tournament. Don't look at me like you gave me the dead fish face there again.
I don't know where you were going with that.
I was trying to get it out. I got stuck.
I thought you were in a sand trap myself.
Let me get it out.
Yeah,
Hold on.
okay. Here's the 1-0 to Hall. Swung and a miss, 1-1.
You know,
Did I see him in the golf tournament?
The Phoenix Open. There's that celebrity Pro-Am before the tournament out at Greyhawk Golf Club in Scottsdale. See Billy Hall out there in that all the time. He lives over in Paradise Valley during the off season.
Oh.
I think he and Jermaine Dye may get together and play a little golf occasionally.
Are you in that group?
No.
1 ball, 1 strike on Hall. Beltre at first, leaning but not running. The pitch down and just missed the corner. 2-1.
I think I'm going to start a group with John Bracken. Hook up, play out special places, Whisper Rock.
Yeah. Just one of them?
Yeah, you know. Maybe throw
Has he invited you to Butler yet?
Throw a slice
That's
out.
on the move.
No, slice out at Konerko's house or something like that.
Yeah.
No.
Is that a slice off the tee there that you? Yeah.
I specialize that.
Can't miss it. There's a throw over to first and back safely is Beltre. I think the house is in excess of 10,000 square feet.
Whoa, hey, too much personal information.
I think that's the one they had with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, where they went off the roof, onto the gutter, off the door, and into the basket.
Oh, yes.
2 balls, 1 strike on Bill Hall.
3-2
Mariners. We're in the sixth.
I think that Tweety Bird was in that one.
Beltre runs the 2-1, a high fly ball to left, hit way back, but not back enough. Quentin moves back. Now a stutter step to his left, makes the catch. Beltre was running his halfway. He'll dance back to first. Now there are 2 outs for Kenji Jojima. Saw some guys in the elevator that did they cover you in Japan when you were playing over there? Do you know them?
No. But thanks for asking.
Well, one guy hugged you and you were speaking Japanese to him. I think you were anyway.
You would never know, would you?
I didn't know. I'm not sure he knew because he answered you in English.
Now, see, that's not right.
Well, you were speaking a foreign language, and he was speaking. I guess he was speaking a foreign language too. He was speaking English.
There you have it. We were both showing off.
I asked him. I said, "Where are you from?" He goes, "San Francisco." So here's Jojima, a double, a run scored, and a ground out. Garcia works from the set. Beltre at first, and the pitch is swinging a ground ball up the middle. That's throw for a hit. Beltre will turn at second and stop there as Pitsednik's on that in a hurry. Jojima's 2 for 3 tonight.
The one thing I like that a good outfielder will do is he won't even attempt a base runner, try and jog up 3/4 to a ball to see if he might try and take that extra base so you can possibly throw him out. You just get to the ball as quick as possible and never let him have the opportunity to take the extra base, because usually bad things can happen. You can rush it, make a bad throw. He's safe anyway. Just get it back in and keep the runner from ever trying to think of taking that extra base on you.
There's Mike Karp, the first baseman. He's had a perfect night, a single and a triple. Left-handed batter, open stance. Garcia leaning in, right sides from Przinski's catcher. Beltre at second. Jojima at first, and the delivery to Karp. A swing, check swing, and a strike. 0-1. He went over home plate and said, you know what? I'm not going to hit it, so he stopped his swing. He went too far. They show him standing on our monitor. His baseball bat that has not got that varnish on it, or that dipping that the guys do with that.
Unfinished.
Yeah, why is that?
I always liked unfinished myself.
Garcia's 0-1 pitch, swung and a missed. 0-2.
I always felt that with unfinished bats, I can bone them better.
Activity in the Mariner bullpen as well as the White Sox. The White Sox have, I think that's Randy Williams throwing out there.
You know what I mean.
0-2 the count, 2 outs.
You know what I mean by boning the bat?
Yeah.
Yeah. You
Big
know.
soup bone attached to a board,
Right.
and then yeah.
Right.
It is what Randy Williams warming in the bullpen. 0-2 the count. Room to work for Garcia and the Sox, and the pitch high. He wouldn't go after that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
You know, whenever you had that finish on it, it's like, you know, it didn't really compress the wood the way you
Right.
wanted it to.
I see guys using sometimes glass or broken bottle to get the handle the way they want it. The bat doesn't come the way they want it from the manufacturer.
Whittle it down.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. They pull those little lathe tools out and shave them down.
Next one in the dirt, bounces into the glove or chest protector. Przinski keeps the ball in front of him, and the runners have to hold. Sure, the train that just went by, that was Russell's train.
Yeah, you were telling me that tonight we were going to hear Russell's train.
We did, and it is an appendage of this ballpark we call Safeco Field, because the train tracks are right behind right field.
Actually, when the roof is open, the roof projects out and covers that train area back there.
So it doesn't get any rain on it.
Right. I mean, if you got to board a train, that's a good place to do it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Deuce or wild, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Karp waits, and the delivery pulled foul. Tonight, when the teams finished batting practice, the groundskeepers came out and soaked down the warning track from first base around to third. Can you explain to me why that's done?
Well, generally, I'll tell you the truth. That's done in ballparks like the old Candlestick Park and other places, because when it's windy, the dust blows up. So they want that nice and wet, where it's not going to blow all the dust all over the place. Here, there's no wind. I don't get it.
No.
Tradition?
The 2-2, a swing and a high fly ball behind third base, foul territory. Beckham in foul territory makes the catch, and that's it for the Mariners. They 2 hits in the inning, no runs, and they leave 2 more to the 7th. 3-2 Seattle.
Eastern Iowa's home for Chicago White Sox baseball is 1600 ESPN Radio.
Back here at Safeco Field, 3-2 is the lead. It is the top of the 7th inning. A pitching change has taken place for the Mariners. There's now Kelly. Get Kelly's first name as they have hit it. Is Sean Kelly, the right-hander. He's pitched in 39 games this year. He's 4-2 with a 4.58 earned run average. So Kelly, he's had 3 save opportunities, unable to close out any of them. So tells you this. With the pressure on, he's had some problems. Let's see if our guys can go get him.
Ian Snell goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs earned, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts, and a wild pitch. First man up for the White Sox. Chris Getz, the second baseman, and Kelly's first one, a strike called. It is Getz Ramirez, 8-9 for Ozzie Guillen, and then Podsednik, the leadoff man. White Sox need 1 to tie and 2 to jump in front. We're in the 7th, 3-2 Seattle. This one, a swing and a ground ball up the middle. Diving Lopez can't get it. It's through for a hit.
You know, you used to like to say this, Ed. We haven't heard it for a while.
It's our part of the game.
There you go.
That is the 4th consecutive inning the White Sox have their leadoff man on. Tying run at first for Alexi Ramirez. Is he bunting?
No, I do not see him bunting. Alexi is looking down a little extra long at third base coach Jeff Cox, but I don't think it's going to be on.
Kelly's delivery with the Getz moving is fouled for strike one. Did he have second base to his own?
It's a hit and run.
Ramirez, all he has to do is look at the right side of this infield with the first baseman Karp holding against Getz and the second baseman Lopez playing towards the bag. It's wide open.
Well, it's not that easy on hit and runs to guide the ball over to any place in particular. Your number one priority is to make sure you hit the ball down on the ground.
Kelly will look at first at Getz, who's not running that pitch. That's a strike, and that's a gift. 0-2. That looked low.
I know this. I had a little giddy up on it at 93.
White Sox have Dotel warming in their bullpen and left. 3-2 Seattle. Tie and run Getz is at first. Kelly works from the first base side of the pitching rubber, and that one outside by a foot. 1-2. Let's pause here 10 seconds for station identification on the Score on the Sox Radio Network.
Eastern Iowa's leader in sports play-by-play. This is 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Alongside Darren Jackson at Farmer at Safeco Field, 7th inning, 3-2 Seattle. Lloyd Glazer is our engineer here, assisted by John Bracken. In the Score Studios in downtown Chicago, Joe Ostrowski and Chris Tannehill work there. We're happy to have you with us tonight. White Sox lose on Sunday in Anaheim 3-2. They trail here in Seattle 3-2, and we're in the 7th. The next one to Ramirez, fouled just short of our booth behind home plate. The count of 1-2 on Alexi Ramirez. Dotel is warming in that bullpen in left center. And the pitching coach, Don Cooper, has been on the phone. Here's Juan Nieves standing behind him, and he's flanked by two policemen out there. Bullpen. Is he going somewhere other than the mound?
I don't know. I mean, they've got their eye on him, that's for sure.
1-2 the count on Ramirez. Kelly deals a swing and a shot up the middle. That's through for a base hit. Getz will turn at second and stop there. And on it in a hurry is the center fielder Gutierrez.
Again, good hustle. We've seen Pasednik do it out there in center field to keep the base runner from taking the extra base, and now Gutierrez. Nice job by Alexi Ramirez, and I tell you, he had that little turn back with that front foot that we saw last year all the time. That created that perfect timing for him. I haven't seen it as much this year. That little turn in has not been as successful.
Pitching coach Adara to the mound to talk to Kelly and also the catcher. Now he's going to be joined by the shortstop Wilson and Beltre.
And
they could get a couple more guys in there, couldn't they?
Oh, they could if they tried, but forget about that. Is 3 runs, 7 hits, no errors for the Mariners. 2 runs, 7 hits, an error for the Sox. 2 on, nobody out. Here in the top of the 7th inning, this update provided by the Law Tigers, America's motorcycle injury lawyers who ride.
So first 2 up on for Pasednik. Okay, he should be bunting, shouldn't he?
That he should.
You hate to give up outs, though, don't you?
And then, you know, this is the proper situation. You can now move the leading run into scoring position. You don't like to, on the road, bunt to move a man up to second base to tie the score when you're the road team.
Mark Lowe now warms in that Mariner bullpen. He throws rockets. They play up at the corners with Beltre at third and Karp at first as Pasednik moved the bat as there was a pickoff move to second base, but nobody was covering. He did show him he was bunting.
Yes, he did. He already has 1 sacrifice bunt in this game. He was trying to get a hit, but didn't matter. He moved the runner into scoring position.
Bunted this one, foul for strike 1. The last time up, it took a great play by Snell to get him at first.
Right. Different circumstance now. It's funny because when you try to bunt for a hit and you get somebody over, you know, it's a two-way bunt. If they don't make the play, you get a hit. They do make the play, you at least have the sacrifice, and you've got the man in scoring position. Well, this time, everybody is ready for the bunt. And Beltre, as good as they come, coming in to field the ball, but he's the one that has to have the ball bunted to him.
2 on, no outs. The bunt fouled and out of play, and it's 0-2 now. It's Scott Pasednik. You enhance your position by getting this ball in fair territory if the bat is in front of home plate.
Well, you're right. You can see that the angle was poor right there for Scott Pasednik on the last effort. I don't know if he'll, on his own, try and still put the bunt down, but the Mariners, even though it's 0-2, they still stand their ground as if they expect him to try the bunt again.
He could slap one by the third baseman Beltre by running up on it.
I don't think he's bunting.
He's not bunting. The pitch is 1-2. Beckham is on deck, and then Brzezinski after Beckham. No outs, runners at first and second. Tying run at second. Go ahead run at first as the Mariners lead 3-2 here in the White Sox seventh. Kelly, a long look at second, and the delivery to Pacetic popped up and out of play to the left side of home plate.
Now, Scott's probably the one guy in this lineup that can put down a couple of bunt efforts, and I don't worry about him getting to an 0-2 count or a 2-strike count in these situations. I still feel, because he's had such a good approach all year long, that he can get the job done by swinging the bat and at least move the man from second base into third.
Ramirez was down 1-2 in the count, got a single. Let's see what Pacetic gets on a 1-2 pitch. Check swing. He went around on a breaking ball. He's out on strikes.
Now that was nasty. He saved the best for last, did Kelly, and that slider down and in.
That was a late breaking slider too, wasn't it?
Yeah, and if you haven't seen that pitch yet, and Scotty Potts had not seen it, it just looks like a fastball into you.
Don Wakamatsu, the manager of the Mariners, on a walk to the mound, and that's it. Adair's been already been out there. Pitching change here in Seattle. The break's a minute and 5. See you on the other side after this on the Score on the Sox Radio Network.
I thought it would be higher.
How about him being 2-6?
Yeah, that's a good point as well, because this man has got some kind of arm on him.
Yeah, that is heated as fine as somewhere in the mid-90s to high 90s.
They recalled, I think, Brandon Morrow as well.
Yep.
Who he can bring the queso.
Lowest third in the American League with 25 holds.
That's not bad.
Do you like that stat, that holds?
No. But, you know, all right, truth be told,
yeah,
I can see why anybody that's playing would like to be, you know, have
recognized
something,
for something they do well.
They can be recognized by. And for setup guys, you know, holding the game, I guess, is their category.
Here's Beckham. Can change this game around with a double in the pitch. Outside for ball one, and low one at that one.
We have the right man at the plate that can turn around that heat.
Holds?
Gordon Beckham. You don't like holds?
No. Paid to do a job. Go do it. Holds? 1 ball, no strikes on back.
Well, how do you get paid if you don't have that category in your middle?
They know if you're throwing good or bad.
Oh, don't go there. They know.
Yeah. Here's the 1-0 to Gordon outside 2-0.
It's like saying, yeah, we know you did good. Don't worry about it. We'll pay you next year. You know, stats mean nothing. Yeah, okay, until you're sitting there in front of the arbitrator.
I got to tell you, I never heard that even from the arbitrator.
Well, you won your arbitration case, didn't you?
I did. That's why I didn't hear it from the arbitrator.
He said, young man, you win.
He said the numbers speak for themselves.
Jump with glee.
I didn't jump with glee. He didn't tell me right there. That's not how that works. It is a difficult process. 2-0 to Beck. A chopper past the mound. Beltre on the charge. The third baseman has it, throws under, and he got him. Runners move up 90 feet. Gets to third. Ramirez to second. That's with 2 outs for A.J. Przinsky.
Well, that's where having really good defense pays, because this little chopper, not every third baseman can come in and make this play. But Beltre has that ability to throw right from his hip, like he's pulling out a 6-shooter and letting a bullet go. And he nailed him.
I looked at his glove as he was fielding that ball. It looks like he's playing with an outfielder's glove at third base. I'm not saying you can't do that, but usually third basemen have a glove almost like a pitcher's glove.
Right, in that mid-range size.
Well, here's A.J. A base hit puts the Sox in front. Gets it third. Ramirez at second. Low's delivery. A swing and a foul to play to the left. That had some heat on it. Strike one.
My outfield glove was about pitcher-sized glove. I didn't like that really big one. Let's say Brett Butler used to use.
Yeah.
Oh, man, he used something that was more like a softball glove.
Looked like a cesta.
Yes. Yeah, that was it.
Did you ever have an illegal glove?
How can
where
my
the fingers
glove
are
be
a little
illegal?
long?
It was a smaller glove. I just told you, knucklehead.
Well, no. I mean, you could have had one. They could put
What
one
the
in your
heck,
locker.
man? What's wrong with you? Are
Could
you
put one in
listening
your
to me?
locker. Folks, he did everything right by the book.
Are you trying?
Luis Polonia
You're
comes
killing
to
me,
my mind.
Smalls.
0-1 the count, 2 down. Przinsky needs a hit, so the Sox, that one's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Illegal glove. Yeah, you'll catch me in confessing that. Nice try.
You could ask Gaylord Perry right now. He'd tell you he threw the spitter.
Well, he's a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
He could tell you. It's done for him. I'm still hoping.
For the Hall?
Yes.
Yeah, well, good. You'll get there.
As a visitor.
1 ball, 1 strike. That's what Milo Hamilton used to say. Here's a fastball outside, 2-1. I'm going to the Hall of Fame. You can go with me, but you'll have to pay your way in. 2 balls, 1 strike on A.J. Przinsky. White Sox losers of 2 of 3 in Anaheim. And could have won 2 out of 3. Friday night they were beat 7-1, but Sunday they lost 3-2. And Hunter's home run was the difference. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. The pitch to Przinsky, fouled out of play. It's 2-2 now. I was talking about Torrey Hunter and Compton, California. They hadn't had Little League, I guess, in 25 or 30 years. And the fellow started getting the Little League kids together. It is definitely a depressed area there in Compton, California, a suburb of Los Angeles. Torrey Hunter gave him $10,000 to start it up.
That's very generous.
It is commendable, for sure. 2 out, tie and run at third, go ahead, run at second. The count 2-2 on Przinsky, and low from the set, the 2-2 pitch, pulled foul. He's not going quietly into that good night. Be sure and stay tuned to the postgame show with Chris Ranji as he selects the Auto Owners Insurance Player of the Game. Low on the Mariners in a jam here in this 7th inning. Sox have 2 on, but they're 2 out. The non-play in this game, in this inning especially, the inability to get the bunt down to move the runners up. Przinsky just called time at home plate. Tomorrow right back here, game 2 of the 3-game series. Floyd will pitch for the Sox. Roland Smith, that's Ryan Roland Smith, will pitch for the Mariners. Pre-game show with Chris Ranji, 8:35 Chicago time. Darren will have lineups at 9:05. I'll call the first pitch in game 2 between the Sox and Mariners at 9:10 Chicago time. Please join us. From the set, a check of the runners, and the 2-2 to Przinsky, rolled the first foul. Rarely do you see him go out 1-2-3. You know, where the first pitch is a strike, the next one's another one, and then all of a sudden he flails at one. It's not even close.
Ed, I know what 1-2-3 is. Thank you, though.
I was explaining that to our listeners. I'm pretty sure you knew what was going on.
You were looking right at me.
Man who never used an illegal glove. Did you throw a spitter while you were out there, the sinker?
Come on, I'm not going to admit to that.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. See if AJ can come through. The 2-2 pitch, fouled out of play again. The beat's going on right now with Przinsky, the batter, and Lowe, the pitcher. And now Jojima, the catcher, will go out and talk to Mark Lowe. I wonder what's going on there.
Maybe that was too good of a pitch for him to foul off.
It's right down the middle at 95. But sometimes you try to hit a single in this situation, you hit a home run.
Well, I'll take a single. Sometimes you try to hit a single and you do.
Can a single to right score Ramirez from second?
Yes. As long as it's
I better take
hit softly.
Lloyd, cut him off with a coffee. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. The delivery outside, 3-2. A walk here loads him up for Paul Konerko.
Well, Ichiro definitely has as strong and accurate a throwing arm as anybody out there in right field, but we've got the Cuban Missile on second base, and if it's not hit one hop hard to Ichiro, he's got a real good chance of scoring.
Przinsky a single and a run scored in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. Waits for Mark Lowe's delivery with runners at second and third, 2 outs, and here it is. Another foul ball.
I think it's more of a reality that left fielder Billy Hall will get the ball than Ichiro.
So pitching him away?
Well, he's waiting to see the ball a little bit longer, AJ is. He's trying to not get out in front of any sliders that he may throw. So the fastball the other direction. It's a good approach.
Fans making noise here at Safeco Field. The count 3-2. Runners at second and third, 2 down in the 3-2. Line drive to left. That's a base hit. This will tie the game. Hall up with it. Ramirez coming home. The throw's terrible. Over the head of the catcher. Ramirez scores. Przinsky to second with a 2-run single. He makes second on the throw home. The White Sox lead here in the 7th, 4-3. As you were saying?
Well, AJ Swing was telling us, wasn't it?
Yes. How about the throw by Hall?
He's an infielder. He did not bother thinking about the cutoff man, and that's when you really find out. You can stick any player anywhere on the field, but can they play the position correctly? I can take an outfielder and put him on first base, but does he know what he's doing? No. So
that throw was so bad it was over the pitcher's head. And
yes.
He was 15 or 20 feet behind the catcher.
And now you've got another man in scoring position that didn't need to take place.
And here's Paul Konerko. Sox lead 4-3. 3 hits in this inning. Pierzynski's at second. He took second on the throw home. That pitch low for ball 1. Paul Konerko tonight, a double, a walk, a run scored, and a flyout. He's 1 for 2. Four runs, 8 hits for the White Sox with an error. 3 runs, 7 hits for Seattle. The delivery, that's low, 2-0.
And they have to have an error as Pierzynski went into second base on the throwing error by the left fielder. I can't say that he advanced on the throw, not on that one.
Well, they say that's what he did. Went to second on the throw home.
Get out. You got to be horning me.
Just telling you what the official scorer said. I didn't make that judgment. He did. 2 balls, no strikes on Sox captain Paul Konerko. The pitch is swinging a line drive right center field. This is going to split the gap and go to the fence. On the move, Konerko into second. And Paul has 2 doubles tonight. A run batted in, a run score, and the White Sox now lead by 2. They're up 5-3.
Well, it's nice to see the big guys stepping up and getting it done in Pierzynski and Konerko. So often we've relied on the Getz and Pasednik and Beckham's in the lineup. Now the heart of the lineup's doing some damage.
Here's the line on Kelly. 1/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 1 strikeout. To the mound, Jojima to tell Mark Lowe, I'd like to tell you how hard you're throwing, but I haven't caught many of them. Suzuki knew that was an extra base hit immediately, didn't he?
He did. He just took off, put his head down, and started running towards the gap to pick it up. You know, when you're standing out there and the ball leaves the bat at a certain angle, you don't need anybody to tell you that you're not going to catch it.
Dwayne Wise will run at second for Paul Konerko. Here's Mark Kotze and the delivery high for ball 1.
That means that Kotze will become the first baseman, and Wise will go out to right field for Mark Kotze.
We'll mark that down right now because I know that's true. Low reading signs from Jojima as catcher. The count 1-0. Wise, fairly good lead away from second. The 1-0 delivery, high and inside, 2-0. We have seen 1 breaking pitch from Lowe for a close to home plate for a strike, and that was the one he got Pasednik, and that's been it.
Right, and now it almost looks like he's pitching with some anger, and that's not doing him any good.
Pitching coach Adair goes to the mound to talk with Lowe and Jojima.
Well, we got time for this drop in. 7-Eleven will make a $10,000 donation to the support of the Chicago White Sox charities during the 09 season.
$10,000?
Yeah. Want to hear more?
Sure.
Bring your friends and family to U.S. Cellular Field as the White Sox take on the Royals September 18th through the 20th. Then we'll have the Twins come in behind them, then the Tigers, so on and so forth.
That's it for the homestand and for the season.
And forget about it.
Then we go to Cleveland and Detroit.
I'm done with that guy.
Yeah. There's a changeup swung and a miss. I think Adair told him, you know what, you better get your secondary pitches over. 2-1 now on Mark Kotze.
And Kotze is kind of stepping out of the box going, yeah,
so why
okay,
me?
Okay, fine, I get it. Joke's on me. He's got 2 swings left.
2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. Wise at second base. The infield plays Mark Kotze to pull. Off the line at third, 25-30 feet is Beltre. And that pitch is swinging a long one to center field, but not long enough. Gutierrez going back, pounds the glove and makes the catch. That's it for the Sox. The White Sox score 3 runs here in the 7th inning on 4 hits, and they leave a runner at second base. They stand here for the 7th inning stretch here at Safeco Field. Home half coming up, 5-3 White Sox.
All right, Chris, thank you very much. There's a pitching change that's taking place right here at Safeco Field. Garcia out after 6 innings of work. In is Dotel. Numbers on Dotel this year: 3 wins, 3 losses, and a 3.41 earned run average in 58 games. Those changes have taken place on Wise and Kotze as well.
So it's 9-1-2 to face Dotel here in the 7th inning. Sox lead by 2. They're up 5-3. And Dotel's first one, a shot on the ground, bunted. Dotel off the mound to first, runs for foot race, safe at first base is Wilson. Wilson might have hurt his foot jumping at that bag. Dotel is telling the first base umpire, Angel Hernandez, I actually beat him. He did not beat him. That was a laser beam of a bunt for a hit.
Yeah, that goes to show you, you don't have to bunt it perfectly as long as you bunt it to the right location of the field, and he did that. He hit a rocket and almost looked like it hit Jack Wilson's fingers when he bunted it, and then it was a foot race as Kotze did a nice job, but the throw a little off the mark, and it was a tie at first base, and the umpire had to figure somebody won it, and he gave it to the runner.
Why does the runner always get the tie?
I don't know if they always do, but that was about as close to a tie as you can ever see. If that throw would have led Dotel just a little bit, he would have been able to get him.
I thought he had him.
But unfortunately, the throw made him reach back, and it slowed Dotel's momentum down.
Angel Hernandez will have the plate tomorrow, and there's no love lost there between Ozzie Guillen and Angel Hernandez. Wilson might have to come out of this game.
Well, he leaped for the bag, and you know, you're told as a base runner, never leap for first base, or any of the bases for that matter.
If he did the head first slide, he'd have been safe by plenty.
Well, he probably would have. They're also teaching you not to go to the head first slide. Even though guys do it, those guys are choosing to do it, and they've worked it out. They know how to get that timing in the dive into first. Other guys could probably get hurt doing that.
One Wilson replaces another.
How often are you going to see that? Once a
I
year?
don't rightly know. I know I'm seeing it tonight.
Once a year?
We're seeing it tonight. It's once in this game.
You don't rightly know? Where
No.
are we, partner?
Yeah.
Out in the west? Yeah, we are out west, but northwest, not southwest, partner.
Yeah. Okay. I feel like I'm at the OK Corral all of a sudden here in the seventh. Tying run now at home plate with the Ichiro. The Mariners 3 runs, 8 hits. The Sox have made 5 on 9.
I don't rightly know.
Yeah, Wilson a long lead away from first. Dotel with the delivery. That's a strike. Ichiro tonight, a fly out to left in the first. A walk, a run scored in the third, and then popped out to Brzezinski, the catcher, in the fifth. If you're going to get a double play on this guy, it's either going to have to be a line drive or one right at the bag where the shortstop or second baseman catches it. That one's low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You know how many double plays he's hit into this year?
1.
How'd you know?
Well, you put up 1, so I figured that was the answer.
No, I was just scratching my nose.
White Sox worked hard to get those 3 runs in the top half of this inning. They lead 5-3. The next one to Ichiro, high pop up, short left field. Ramirez going out, looks at the left fielder, and nobody gets this ball. I got to tell you, folks, there is no excuse for that right there. Ramirez should have had the ball in his back pocket, waited, then turned around and looked. This is big league baseball, and that was not a big league play.
I'm going to look at the play again here as Ramirez goes back. And he just gave up thinking that Quentin was going to come in and catch it. Actually, it was Quentin's ball. But Quentin's looking at Ramirez, and Ramirez stopped. Carlos that was just bad play. I don't know how you describe it any other way. Carlos
There's no reason for Ramirez to keep going out if it's the left fielder's play.
Well, right. It's going to deceive the left fielder sometimes, but Carlos, it actually landed just a step away from him or so. He had stopped and looked at Ramirez and then said, uh-oh, and tried to dive for it. So it's just bad communication.
That's poor defense. Here's Gutierrez in the pitch. Bunt attempt, foul for strike 1. I'll say this about Wilson, the runner at second base. He's off. He bunts through this one and Brzezinski catches it. You've got to play.
That play has to be on, you know. If as you said, Gutierrez bunts through it. He bunted the last one down off of AJ's leg. But that's the funny thing. At second base, it's not your responsibility to try and get that lean and get that extra jump and get thrown out because of it.
Here's the 1-strike pitch. He squares around a bunt, bunts this one first base side. A beauty. Kotze will have it. Flip to gets underhand. The sacrifice goes 3-4, and the runners move up 90 feet. Wilson to third, Suzuki to second for Jose Lopez. A base hit could tie this game.
See, the White Sox just let him have the options of first base or third base. If the first baseman is charging hard there, because you're not holding the guy on at first base anyway, if he's charging hard, that means the guy can only bunt to third now, and that eliminates the option of him pushing it easily to first.
Pitch to Lopez, that's a strike. When you talk about that, you're talking about a team with better defense than what we've seen from the Sox the entire season. More defined than the play on Suzuki's pop-up to short left field, where he's awarded a base hit on a pop-up. 0-1, 1 out, runners at second and third. Here's one sprayed foul to play to the right. 0-2 now. I grew up loving the Chicago White Sox, was a White Sox fan my whole life and still am. But when you see defense like this, you start questioning what the guys are thinking on the field.
Well, you and I can see it, and unfortunately our listeners cannot. It was just a botched play between two big leaguers.
0-2 pitch, popped up and out of play.
Obviously, it happens in these games, but it shouldn't. And the better quality team you are defensively, these things don't happen. You do have a guy only able to bunt to third base because the first baseman is charging hard, but that comes from the bench. That's not the first baseman's option.
The 0-2, swinging, he popped him up, maybe playable for Brzezinski, comes to the backstop, and this one's out of play. My thinking is this: whenever I was playing, everybody was told to go as hard as they could after the ball in the air.
Right.
And then when somebody calls it, get out of the way. If it's in the outfield, the infielders are running back there full speed, and when they say, I got it, you move out of the way. There was no communication on a fly ball to short left field. Dotel from the set, the 0-2, a little looper over first. That's foul. What's going on with the first base coach over there?
Lee Tinsley.
Yeah.
I didn't see what he did.
He was running away from that like it was a grenade.
I guess he was making sure that he was not run over by Mark Kotsay.
Tony Pena warms in the White Sox bullpen along with Matt Thornton. Another 0-2 pitch. High pop-up. Playable for Kotsay. He'll run after Tinsley again. He's under it, makes the catch, and the runners hold at second and third with 2 outs. Ken Griffey Jr. to home plate, perhaps.
Well, that's doing something to get Jose Lopez because he's their big RBI guy. So you pop him out and keep him from driving a run, you did something.
So here's Jr. Brzezinski and Ramirez will meet Dotel, and here comes White Sox manager Ozzie Guillen. He's got Thornton ready in the bullpen. He's making a pitching change. We're back after this on the Score on the Sox Radio Network.
Matt Thornton got some work to do as Ken Griffey Jr. in this game, already with a home run, a pop out, and a strikeout.
The rule for pitchers, and certainly you can be misled here and have a misread, is when you throw your fastball to a batter and he fouls it straight back. You've been taught throughout the minor leagues, when he fouls it straight back, he's right on it. That I don't believe is the case here with Thornton and Griffey.
So if
I
he
think
fouls
he
it
fouled
straight
the ball
back,
straight back, stay with the fastball.
Yeah. I agree with you. I agree because Junior just does not square the fastball in the mid-90s up the way he used to.
I mean, you can throw him fastballs in and get him out and then expand the break. And here's Thornton's delivery, low strike. 0-1. That was on the knees, maybe a little bit below. The White Sox get a gift there, 0-1.
A couple of former first-rounders going against each other of these Mariners.
Here's the 0-1 to Junior. Check swing, 0-2 now. He was not ready for that heater.
Matt Thornton has come so far since he's joined the White Sox facing left-handers. He used to have a problem going right at him and throwing strikes.
Griffey locked in that left-handed batter's box, now calls time. And the idea now, I thought he was looking for a breaking ball on 0-1. I still don't think he can hit a fastball. He may chase a breaking ball out of the zone. Deep side by Thornton and the 0-2. Struck him out swinging. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And that's it for Seattle. No runs. 2 hits. And they leave 2 to the 8th. 5-3 Sox.
Back to Chicago White Sox baseball right here on Eastern Iowa's home of the Sox. 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM.
Back here at Safeco Field, top of the 8th inning, White Sox lead the Mariners 5-3. A pitching change for Seattle. Out is Lowe after giving up a couple of hits, and he gave up a couple of Sean Kelly's runs as well as one of his own. Now it is Randy Messenger who has come on. Messenger's numbers this year: 0-1 with a .491 earned run average in just 7 games.
So it's Messenger. Here in the 8th, Sox lead 5-3 on the pitch. Swinging a pop-up behind first, backing up Carp, the first baseman. He'll put the grip on that to get Dye. 1 pitch, 1 out. Up next is Carlos Quentin. Before he steps in, let's step out for an ID break on the Score on the Sox Radio Network.
Eastern Iowa's leader in sports play-by-play. This is 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Alongside Darren Jackson, Ed Farmer, we're in Seattle, Washington. 5-3 White Sox are at Safeco Field. Lloyd Glazer is our engineer here, assisted by John Bracken. The Score Studios in downtown Chicago. Joe Ostrowski works side by side with Chris Tannehill. There's a strike from Messenger to Carlos Quentin. Messenger's cap, the bill is ironed. Here's the 0-1. Something off, speed down, 1 ball, 1 strike. Is this a look that you
No.
You couldn't even get it out? I don't know where this comes from, folks, but if your kids are playing Little League, don't do this to them. 1-1 foul on a play to the right. you're going to send little Billy out to play baseball and his bill of his caps iron like this, put a propeller on top of the cap. Wow, what a look that is. Here's the 1-2 to Quentin, swung on and missed. A great change of speeds. He may wear his cap a little shaky, but this guy's got good stuff. A strikeout of Griffey to end the bottom half of the 7th. That was brought to you by DuPage Oncology Center, working to strike out cancer. So here's Chris Getz batting with 2 down in the Sox 8th. They lead 5-3 here in Seattle. That heater's over for strike 1. You see the Comcast radar gun there? I think it was 93 miles an hour. Comcast, nation's leading fiber optic network, that is, for voice, internet, TV. The number to call is 1-800-4BEST-TV. That one misses. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chris Getz. Gets a single to center in the 60s, 1 for 3. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down, and the next one is swinging a looping line drive that'll settle into right field for a base hit. Well, Getz keeps his 8th inning alive with a 2-out single for Ramirez.
By the way, you're not allowed any longer to draw that picture of the beanie with the little spinning propeller. It's hard for me to recover from that, okay? Because all I visualize is my son on the Wii Golf, miniature golf, made me as a character with the same hat on. It's not funny. He thinks it's funny.
Help him. You are the adult.
I can't even set the thing up. My 4-year-old's setting it up and gave me a beanie propeller. Come on.
Throw over to first and gets his back safely. Did you ever wear your cap like this? Even just goofing around?
Come on. Yeah, well, that's what you did to give it the Gomer Pyle look or something to look goofy.
I think that might be Elmer Fuddish.
There you go.
Where he's getting Weston Weewaxation. That one's a strike. 0-1.
No, I mean, obviously styles change, and well, it's not a good style to you
Who
and I.
came up with this one?
But obviously these young men of today feel that it's cool, you know?
0-1 the count. Gets it first. Ramirez waits. Gets runs. Hit and run. Base hit to right. Gets will turn at second, and he's on his way to third. Now make it standing. We talked about that earlier. Right side of the infield was open. It was open here again in the 8th. Ramirez finds the hole for a base hit.
Well, Lexi settling in nicely into that number 9 spot tonight. Chris Getz back in there in the 8th spot. A couple of hits. And, you know, obviously this isn't a true hit and run. It was just Getz was trying to steal a bag, and Alexi hit the ball to the vacated area, the right side. And you can see he was trying to hit the ball that direction.
Don Wakamatsu has seen enough of the hat and also the pitching of Randy Messenger. He's going to the bullpen. We're going to a 1-minute, 5-second break on the Score in the Sox Radio Network. The thing you have to watch out here if you're on third base as Getz is the ball that rolls away from Jojima, the catcher. A lot of times when you bring in a left-hander, more so than a right-hander, situation like this, facing the same side batter, the release point on the first 3 or 4 pitches, if they want a breaking ball, isn't there yet. So they're so used to facing right-handed batters.
You know, there's a double reason why if you're Don Wakamatsu, you're bringing the left-hander Olsen. You've got a base runner on first. You're trying to avoid the old double steal so the guy on first doesn't get that good jump. And secondly, you've got the left-handed hitter, so you're trying to work a couple of the odds in your favor, and Wakamatsu pretty smart that way.
So it's Olsen to face Pitsednik with 2 outs here in the Sox 8th. They have runners at first and third. White Sox up 5-3. They have 11 hits, and that fastball misses high for ball 1. Walker loads him up for Beckham, who swings. Weighted bat in the on-deck area. Need a little bingo here with 2 outs. Look at first and the 1-0. That's a strike. 1-1.
How do you spell that?
That was his name. Beltre plays on the grass in front of the bag at third. Rest of the infield back. Ramirez at first, gets at third. And that pitch to the backstop on the ground. Here comes Getz, and he's going to score. White Sox now lead 6-3.
All right, the great Rasputin has spoken. The wild pitch is there to be had, as you pointed out, and Getz was ready.
Jojima to the mound or halfway there to meet Olsen and talk about the ball that got away. And this looked like a screwball.
And it looked like a
It went
pass
right
ball.
off his glove.
Yes. Seems like the official scorekeeper's been waiting all night to actually give Jojima a pass ball, and there he does.
So the ball to the backstop adds a run for the Sox here in the 8th. The count 2-1 on Pitsednik. Ramirez at second base. A base hit will make it a 4-run Sox lead in the delivery. Swinging a line drive to left. That's a base hit. Ramirez hits third in full gear. He's coming home, and the throw is on time, and back to third is Ramirez. He was being waved in and stopped running.
Yeah, that could have been one of those trick calls, as Cox was waving him home and then just yelled in his ear, "Stay here!"
Give Podsednik a single. He takes second base on the throw home, and Beckham heads for home plate.
It's a good thing that he stayed at third, because he would have been thrown out. Billy Hall got that throw down on the money, and it would have been there in plenty of time to nail Ramirez.
Yes, it would have. Jojima looked like he was going to throw, looked to see where the base runner Ramirez was. To his astonishment, he went back to third and into second. Podsednik. Here's Beckham. Olson's delivery, a high fly ball, short left field. Wilson going out. In comes Hall. Wilson calls for it, makes the catch, and that's it for the Sox. White Sox get 2 runs in this inning, or I should say 1 run in this inning on 3 hits, and they leave runners at second and third. Bottom of the 8th inning coming up. 6-3 White Sox here in Seattle. For the Mariners, it's 5, 6, and 7. Beltre, Hall, and then Jojima to face Matt Thornton. White Sox will back up Thornton in the bullpen with right-hander Tony Pena, and that pitch high for ball 1. Thornton came on in the 7th inning to strike out Ken Griffey Jr. on 3 pitches. 6 runs, 12 hits for the White Sox with an error. 3 runs on 9 hits for Seattle. The 1-0 delivery, broken bat fly ball to center field. Rios just into the game. Is under it, makes the catch. So the ball will find you as soon as you come into the game.
That's a good thing. If you're going to play, you say, hit the ball to me.
Podsednik has moved to left field with Quinton out of the game.
Rios threw the ball back into the cutoff man and missed everybody. It rolled all the way to the dugout. So he's back in the game, all right. He's in the game making a play, but the throwing arm's not quite ready.
No, you go out there off the bench and you're not loose, are you?
Yeah, you're loose. You're loose. You should have been running around in the dugout and in the locker room, everywhere.
How much room can you run in that dugout?
Well, you can also go in the batting cage inside the locker room and throw the baseball if you need to.
Yeah, that's true. Although you could also pitch in the hallway, couldn't you?
You know what? We can keep doing this all night if you want.
Well, no, there's a home plate out there, isn't there? And a pitcher's rubber?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. There's a strike.
Out there in the tunnel, yeah, you're right. We talked to the security guy outside the locker room about that home plate.
We did. He said he has to leave as soon as they're warming up to throw out the ceremonial first toss, the 0-1 to Hall. Late 0-2. This is Powder River for Matt Thornton.
Yeah, that was, if you're Billy Hall and you swing at that one, you go, uh-oh. Okay.
That'll leave a mark, won't
I
it?
got to turn up a notch.
1 out, bases empty. Sox lead 6-3. White Sox trail 3-0 to the 4th. There's a foul back, and that must seem like a victory. You talked about Ian Snell when the Pirates sent him down. He started tonight, but he went to the minor leagues and struck out 13 in a row and struck out 17 in 7 innings.
Yeah, that's just crazy talk.
Yeah, because those guys in minor leagues, they're trying also to get to the big leagues.
This is AAA. It wasn't like
Yeah.
it was Little League.
That would be good in Little League. The 0-2 high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Most you struck out in Little League.
I can't think back that far.
You played 6 innings.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Well, I think you played
It
6
was
innings.
like
You could
a
play
lot
more.
longer for you, I
Yeah.
know, but you probably remember.
Thank you. The 1-2 pitch, foul back.
Do you remember your high strikeout in Little League? Yeah, don't give me that Blake stare, because you know you do. The number's
thinking.
just jumping off the page right now.
I did strike out a
Yeah.
lot in one game, but
Yeah,
I had
that
a
lot's
pitch
not
in
a
the 9th
number.
inning.
A lot's not a number.
Pitched 8 2/3 and struck out 18.
Let's see, that's a number.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. And that one swung on and missed. Ball gets away from Brzezinski. He'll pick it up. Let Hall run towards first, then throw him out. Strikeouts recorded 2-3. Hall hurt himself. He blew out his quadriceps on his right leg.
Oh, that's not good. It's not good on a strikeout to blow your leg out running to first.
Yeah.
It says you're hustling, but if all the times in the world where you don't need to run as hard as you can, this is one of them.
If you watch him running on the replay, it'll show that when he was running, came up about a foot from first base and grabbed his right quad.
Yeah. I mean, he went down pretty hard. Almost down, that is.
That pitch high on his side for a ball. This is Kenji Jojima, who's 2 hits, a run scored. He's 2 out of 3 tonight. Didn't Hall start with the Brewers as a shortstop? 1-0.
Yes, he did.
That's down 2-0.
Then they moved him to the third base.
Yeah.
And
Then they moved him out of Milwaukee.
then they said, you got to go. Yeah, earlier this year. I mean, you talk about insult to injury, a strikeout and an injury.
2-0 line shot, 1 hop. Beckham to 1 knee has it. Gloves, throws low, the stretch by Kotze, and they get him a perfect inning, a perfect outing so far for Matt Thornton. He's retired all 4 to the 9th here in Seattle. 6-3 Sox.
Back here at Safeco Field, White Sox lead the Mariners 6-3 in the top of the 9th inning. Out is Olson, who worked 1/3, giving up a hit. And is Miguel Batista. Batista, his numbers on the year: 6-4 the record with a 4.55 earned run average in 48 games. Former starter is Batista most of his career. He started and then he did middle relief. He's done closing. He's done it all, Ed. It's not that easy to bounce around like that, but obviously here's a guy that they're trying to find a role to where I think his influence in the bullpen and in the locker room is more important than what he really contributes on the field sometimes.
He's got better stuff than what the numbers show, and I think that's why he gets a chance to pitch at different spots in baseball, because his stuff is pretty good. That was high for ball 1. Another change. Ryan Langerhans is playing left field. This Hall's out of the game with that pulled muscle in his leg. This is Brzezinski leading off the 9th for the Sox. Sox lead 6-3, and there's a strike from Batista, 1-1. It's not like it's overpowering, but it has movement, and he's got a pretty good slider and a split finger pitch or a changeup. The 1-1, running fastball outside, 2-1. He uses a slider a lot more than I thought he should.
Yeah, but do you feel that he has so much movement on his fastball usually that's why he has control issues?
I'll tell you after this pitch, a line drive to right center. That's down for a hit, may go towards the warning track. Brzezinski on the move. He's going to try the arm of the center fielder. The throw there, and Brzezinski's out from here to Everett, Washington. He tried the arm of Gutierrez, and Gutierrez said, "Not today, my friend."
Well, I got to tell you, Gutierrez, he set the trap, and A.J. bit. I told you earlier, I don't really like when outfielders try to set runners up. A lot can go wrong, but Gutierrez just did it, and it worked out for him this time. It's Pierzynski. This ball split the gap, but it didn't make it to the warning track or the fence. Gutierrez kind of knows exactly what the runner's doing. He slows down a little bit, and he does a speed turn, fires, and throws a strike. Perfect one hop to get Pierzynski by a couple of steps.
That bounce that it took was perfect. You asked me about Batista. If I was his coach, which would never happen, I'd probably go to a four-seam fastball rather than a two-seamer, because he's going to control that a little better. He tends to get under the ball with his elbow. His elbow never reaches parallel with his right shoulder. That one's down and in to Dwayne Wise. 1 ball, 2 strikes. But his slider's certainly good.
Hey, I think he has great stuff, but I think he just throws a lot of balls.
1-2. Bounce towards first. Fair ball. Gloving it is Karp, the first baseman. Runs to the bag to get Wise. 2 down for first baseman Mark Kotze. 6-3 Sox. The White Sox, incidentally, with that Brzezinski single, have made 13 hits tonight and 6 runs. Do you have a Ditka star of the game?
We've got a few candidates, but I think I'll have to start with Pierzynski and then mention Ramirez with his 3 hits. They both would have 3 hits in this game.
There's a pitch to Kotze outside for ball 1. Check the 7 and 8 innings and check out the 8th and 9th batters.
Yeah, pretty impressive. Each with 2 hits.
All singles and 2 runs scored. 4 runs being scored by the 8th and 9th place hitters. That's big. 2 balls, no strikes on Mark Kotze. Check that. 3 runs being scored there. Here's a swing and a pop-up. The third baseman, Beltre, runs into foul territory. Tells Jeff Cox, the third base coach for the Sox, to get out of the way. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit. Brzezinski's thrown out at second. The out was recorded 8-4. Bottom of the 9th coming up from Seattle. It's Hold'em and head to the hotel. 6-3 White Sox.
There we go. We are in the bottom of the 9th inning with the White Sox leading this one big. It is 6-3. Well, big enough for Bobby Jenks to be called in and be in a save opportunity. Bobby's numbers on the year: 3 wins, 4 losses. Earned run average at 3.51 in 50 games. He's picked up 28 saves. He's got some work to do.
Bobby Jenks went to high school here. He's from,
Close to here,
from
yes.
Idaho. I believe his family moved over here when he was in high school, so he'd play against better talent.
The home of the potato.
I've heard that. We're in the 9th, 6-3 Sox. Darren will be back tomorrow, folks. So Jenks will face Karp, the first baseman, then Wilson. That's Josh Wilson, the shortstop, as Jack was hurt, jumping for the bag. And then top of the order was Suzuki. All right, Carp waits, and here's Jenks with the delivery. Fastball down the middle, strike one. White Sox have used Garcia for 6. Dotel for 2/3. Inning and 1/3 for Matt Thornton with 2 strikeouts for Matthew. And now Bobby Jenks. I'll give you the rundown on the Mariners pitching tonight. Sox lead 6-3. The 0-1 swung on a foul tipped in the glove of Przinsky. 0-2. They have used Snell, Kelly, Lowe, Messenger, Olson, and Batista. Rub to work for Bobby Jenks. Carp waiting for the 0-2 pitch, and here it is. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Bobby will work from the stretch whether someone's on or not. That's just the way he warms up in the bullpen and brings it right to the mound. I have no problem with that. Carlos Torres, who has started for the Sox this year as a starting pitcher, he works from the stretch the entire time. There's the 1-2 to Carp, a swing in a line drive to center field. Rios moving back on the run, reaches up, makes the over-the-shoulder catch. He made that look easy.
It's one thing that a lot of people have been commenting about his defensive play is Alex Rios makes it look simple out there. Those long, gaping strides. He has the confidence out there in the outfield, that's for sure.
1 out. There's Wilson. One Wilson replaced another. And wearing a Wilson at short, I might add.
You know, and they're not related either, I might add.
.271 for Josh Wilson. Right-handed batter waits for Bobby Jenks in the delivery. Check swinger's a little tardy on that one. 0-1. He was going to get it, and it was already by him.
I think a lot of times you think you can get to a pitch in a certain location, then it's, as in the case, it looked like a fastball in he was looking for, and that one was away.
0-1 the count on Wilson. The 0-1 pitch swung and a missed. 0-2. He was ready for that, missed it by a foot. Things should not change here for Bobby Jenks. Meaning
No.
this should be a heater.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that. Is Josh Wilson 156 hitter in the National League this year?
0-2. There's the curveball. He's out on strike. Snapdragon hook.
That buckled him.
Yes, it did. It buckled me up here. Mariners are down to their last out.
Good thing you're strapped in.
Yeah, I got my seatbelt on. I didn't like our flight today, was it?
You didn't have yours on for landing.
Well, I had a lot of confidence in the pilot.
No, you didn't. You said, we're coming in hot. And then you went, oh, no, we didn't.
He had a mile-long runway. I would hope we weren't coming in hot. So here's Suzuki. That's the guy the Sox have been looking for all night. The 27th out is at home plate. Suzuki calls time. 6 runs, 13 hits for the White Sox with an error. 3 on 9 for the Mariners. Mariners did their scoring, 2 in the second and 1 in the third. Sox 2 in the fourth, 3 in the seventh, added a run in the eighth. Here's the pitch to Suzuki. Bouncing ball, foul up the first baseline. With Detroit's loss, they moved to 77 and 67. The Twins won their game over 500 at 73 and 72, 4.5 back. The White Sox win puts them a game under 500. The Sox would be 5.5 back, still in this race. Not saying they can win it at 5.5 back, but you never know what can happen. As I remember that Fight and Phil team in the early 60s. They had an 8-game lead, I think, with 15 or 16 games to play, 13 games to play, and they lost. They didn't finish in second place. They wound up in third. That one's high, 1 ball, 1 strike on Suzuki.
You remember that team? I wasn't even here then.
Well, I didn't say I remembered you at that time.
No,
I remember that team.
That's a heck of a memory. You were a little older then. That's right.
The 1-1, swinging a bouncing ball. Kotze too far to his right, foot race to the bag. Jenks there, he didn't get him. I thought he was out. Hernandez blew that call at first base. He just blew it. Blew the call. That's all he did.
Bobby Jenks is talking to him about it, actually. And so is the skipper, Ozzie Guillen.
There comes Guillen, and he will talk to Hernandez. And Hernandez is waiting, and Guillen's going, what happened? How could you miss that one? Can't be that tough. And he'll be at home plate tomorrow night. So Guillen having a dispute with Angel Hernandez. If you have a dispute in your business, why not check out the website of Query and Harrow? They've been around since 1939. The throw was perfect as I'm watching the replay, and Jenks had this bag. Well, he only missed it by a foot. So he had him only by a foot.
Yeah, that's a bad miss.
And he's the umpire at first. I could see if it's a bang-bang play. This was a bang and no play.
Yeah, that's not one he should have missed, that's for sure.
You can find Query and Harrow on the website at qhchicago.com. Been around since 1939. So Hernandez, who will have the plate tomorrow, that should be interesting with Guillen. They have had a history for sure. Suzuki has a huge lead. He should run to second, and he will. That pitch inside for ball one. Franklin Gutierrez. That will be indifference at first base to second. For Suzuki, he has an infield single on that play also. 6-3 White Sox. And Gutierrez tonight is 1 for 3 with a sacrifice and a stolen base. That one's low. 2-0. There's Russell's train again.
I hear it crowing.
Two out, runner at second base. 2 balls, no strikes on Franklin Gutierrez, the Mariners center fielder. White Sox lead by 3. They hit by Suzuki. They now have 10. There's a swing and a pop up out of play to the right. Let's pause here 10 seconds for station identification on the score on the Sox Radio Network.
Eastern Iowa's leader in sports play-by-play. This is 1600 ESPN Radio, KGYM, Cedar Rapids, Iowa.
Alongside Darren Jackson, Ed Farmer, 9th inning to Safeco. White Sox lead 6-3. Lloyd Glazer is our engineer here, assisted by John Bracken. The Score Studios in downtown Chicago. Joe Ostrowski, there's a swing and a miss. And Chris Tannehill worked there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the Mariners are down to their last strike. Tomorrow it's Floyd for the Sox and Smith. That's Roland Smith for these Mariners. Pre-game show with Chris Raji, 8:35 Chicago time. Darren will call lineups at 9:05 over the first pitch at 9:10. Deuces are wild on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Suzuki at second. And the 2-2 pitch struck him out swinging. Nope, foul tip. He swung at it and hit Brzezinski in the shin guard. I thought he had that ball, but he did not. The count holds at 2-2.
Well, it seems like when Bobby has himself a 1-2-3 inning, something strange takes place. Routine ground ball, maybe somebody will miss it, and it leads to a longer inning for him this time. Little ground ball to first base that should have been a called out at first. Here he is battling against an extra batter for no reason.
It was a routine play. Routine was not the call at first base. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. No umpires miss him, but that one to end the game. Come on. 6-3 Sox. Another 2-2 pitch. Swinging a high fly ball down the right field line. Wise on the run is not going to get this one. It's out of play.
Now, Bobby has not had that consistency this year, Ed, with that curveball of his.
No. And I think the reason for that is, Darren, you're not out there all the time. And he is not out there all the time.
No, he has not been, that's for sure.
Did not pitch on Sunday. He did pitch an inning and 2/3 and got the win on Saturday. That was in Anaheim. Next one fouled back again. Was not in the game on Friday night as the Sox lost 7-1. We talked about this. Your short reliever needs to be in the game, playing each week probably 3 and maybe 4 times a week.
Well, yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that. And Bobby, that's probably perfect for him. 3 to 4 at the most within a week.
It depends on how much he's up or how many innings. I mean, if he goes 2/3 of an inning tonight, certainly could pitch tomorrow. 2-2 the count on Gutierrez, and the 2-2 pitch, curveball inside and high, 3-2 now. A walk here brings the tying run to home plate, and that's Lopez.
Yeah, we don't want that. We don't want Lopez up there, that's for sure. A good sinker right here, right down the middle, should get the job done.
Mariner Moose has whipped this crowd into a frenzy, and he's their mascot. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Suzuki at second base. Jenks from the set, the 3-2 pitch. A shot foul up the third baseline. Whatever that was, it didn't have the velocity on it of a fastball.
Or the sink that it needed. But it was the sinker. And don't add the T to that like you like to, because it was just a foul ball. Still got a chance to execute the pitch this time around.
First man up, Karp lined out to center, then a strikeout of Wilson, and now an infield single, and now a 3-2 pitch to Gutierrez. He walked him. Tying run comes to home plate. And Lopez has 23 home runs.
Right, this is not the guy that the White Sox wanted to see come to home plate. He's their best production hitter.
There is no easy save, and anybody who tells you that has never gone out there and got one. but there's no easy save. I don't care. You can pitch 3 innings, and you can qualify for a save pitching 3 innings with a lead of more than 3 runs. So here's Lopez, locked and loaded at home plate. Suzuki at second, Gutierrez at first, Jenks from the set. And here's the pitch to Lopez, low for ball 1.
Ichiro was about to try and steal third base, so Gutierrez, the man behind him, could trail and get into scoring position.
Thought Suzuki with 9 seasons of 200 hits or more.
Well, I mean, I knew he was going to be a great hitter as I played against him in Japan, but to this extent, there's no way.
1 ball, no strikes. Lopez waits. The pitch fouled at home plate, 1-1. There's that sinker again.
For him to come over here and set major league records, pretty impressive.
How big of a star was he in Japan?
It was he and Godzilla. They were the biggest stars over there, aside from the sumo wrestlers.
1 ball, 1 strike, 2 down. 2 on, tying run at home plate with 2 outs and the 1-1 to Lopez. Inside and low, 2 balls and a strike. Sumo wrestlers?
Well, you know, that is their historic national sport.
Yeah, did you used to go to those matches?
No, I would have loved to. I was into it. The guys are a lot better athletes than you would think.
I have no thought whatsoever on it,
Well,
to tell you the truth.
Then I will have to educate you.
Big guys running around the ring. Well, not running.
They're pretty sexy.
Yeah. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 down. White Sox infield back. Guarding the line at third is Beckham. Jenks with a 2-1, fouled off. 2-2 now. What stopped you from going to see them, or they wrestle when you guys were playing every night?
Yep, the boss shows would be during the season to where you couldn't go.
Would you tell me that at the end of the year you actually played makeup games or rainouts if it was needed?
Right. The schedule was to where there were 30 days off during the season in case there were rainouts that you can make them up.
30 days off?
A lot of time off.
2-2 the count. 2 down. 6-3 Sox. We're on the ninth, and the 2-2 pitch fouled off again. This is a battle with Lopez and Jenks right now. We're in the ninth. Did you ever have a chance to wrestle on one of those matches, I think they're called? Not in the attire. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not into personally wrestling.
Yeah.
No.
I would have said you might have tried it over there. The 2-2 to Lopez, the line drive foul, and that was a hanging something. Flying down the left field line. And out of play. I mean, you know, they have guys go out there and goof around, you know, like shooting baskets here.
No, are you crazy? Have you ever seen
Pretty
a sumo
much,
wrestler? I mean, really?
Yes, I have.
If you ever saw one coming your way, just turn and run.
The only way he would be coming my way is in a supermarket. And he could have whatever he wanted in that aisle. I'm sure it would be a lot. Another 2-2 to Lopez. Low, 3-2 now. That non-call at first base where Angel Hernandez called Suzuki safe has affected Jenks here on this inning. The fans on their feet here at Safeco Field. 3-2 the count. Lopez, a home run hitter at home plate, waits. Jenks with a deep sigh. Reed signs from his catcher Przinsky. The runners will be off on the delivery with 2 outs in the ninth. The 3-2 pitch. Sox lead 6-3. The pitch swung on and missed, strike 3, and Lopez is out on strikes, and the White Sox win the first of 3 here in Seattle, 6-3. Keys to the game are next after this on the Score on the Sox Radio Network.
More White Sox play-by-play on the way on the White Sox.
Well, the White Sox win 6-3. The scoring went this way tonight. The Mariners 2 runs in the second, a run in the third. Sox started the scoring for themselves with 2 across in the fourth, added 3 in the seventh and 1 in the eighth to win 6-3. Darren, Freddie Garcia, the winner at 2-2. Kelly, the loser, at 4-3, and Bobby Jenks earned save number 29.
You know, it's kind of funny. Freddie didn't really look that sharp tonight, but he hung in there long enough to walk away with the win as the offense, their timely scoring in the seventh, goes ahead and put the White Sox ahead, as he didn't even come back out to have to work that seventh inning. And from there, the bullpen, you know, they bent, but they didn't break. They got it done tonight, and that's all I can really say. They gave us a great effort, and they walk away with the first win up here in this 3-game series.
Coupled with the Detroit loss, the White Sox are 5.5 games out of the division as the Twins move to 4.5 away from the Tigers. The Tigers have to play the Royals again tomorrow night, and the Sox right back here again in the second game of the 3-game series with Seattle.
You know, it's funny because every win that we have and loss with the Tigers, it just keeps breathing life into the hope of the White Sox fans and to the White Sox players and all of us that are really pulling for this team to somehow get back in it. You know, we'll take it any way we can get it. If the Twins and the Tigers want to go ahead and beat up on each other, and then we can come on in there and sneak some games from both of them, that'd be nice.
We talked about the bottom two in the lineup, Getz and Ramirez, with 4 hits and 3 runs scored. But Konerko had a big night. Kotze also a nice night. And Brzezinski went unnoticed with 3 hits, a couple of runs batted in, and 2 runs scored. Pretty good production right there.
That's exactly right. A big offensive night, and we talk about it every game. We don't know what's going to show up with the offense. They could go out and pick up 13 hits and 6 runs, or they can pick up 5 hits and 1. You just don't know what's going to happen. We have to wait. We have to tee it up, and we got to play the game.
You could give the team a Ditka gift card, couldn't you?
Well, I gave it to A.J. earlier with those 3 hits and the 2 runs batted in that 7th inning. That was huge.
It was a gift card for Mike Ditka's restaurant with 2 locations in and around Chicago, one downtown on Chestnut, a block west of Michigan Avenue, the other one in Oak Brook Terrace at Route 83 and 22nd Street. If you're on the move, taking a trip to the city of Pittsburgh, he also has a restaurant there. Stop in and see the good folks at Mike Ditka's. 6-3 White Sox tonight. The win to Freddie Garcia, he is 2-2. The loss to Kelly, he's 4-3. Jenks with the save, number 29, one away from another 30 save season for Bobby. Game was played 2 hours and 59 minutes. The attendance brought to you by Bene, 17,153 tickets sold tonight. Want to thank our engineer Lloyd Glazer here, assisted by John Bracken, and also Joe Ostrowski and Chris Tannehill in the Score Studios in downtown Chicago. Our next broadcast right back here tomorrow night from Safeco Field in Seattle. Kevin Floyd will pitch for the Sox. Ryan Rowland-Smith will go for the Mariners. The pregame show with Chris Ranji, 8:35. Lineups with Darren at 9:05 on the first pitch at 9:10. Game 2 of the 3-game series. This one of the Sox tonight, 6-3. Up next, Chris Ranji. Take your calls. He's got the postgame show on the Score on the Sox Radio Network. Have a pleasant evening, what's left of it in Chicago, and a good tomorrow. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. So long from Seattle, everybody. 6-3 Sox. Good night.
White Sox